السلام عليكم خالد.
السلام عليكم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم وأناجي وأياجي هدينا ونفهمي دونا هدينا ونبرن دونا SS. Yes, we're back here. I'm with the brother KS. He's come and joined man Gillen Hore. I like that. Links in the chat. Salam to all. And yes, tensions and conflicts in Galmudug. I know, guys. Yeah, guys are gonna tell me this is old news. I was just saying this to me and KS are having this conversation earlier. This is old news, but because we didn't cover it at the time, I was held up busy and I wanted to cover this because a lot of brothers and sisters from the Galmudug region, I've got a lot of brothers and sisters from there. I love the region, I love the people, I already know, man. If I wasn't Sa'ad Musa, I would have been sad. I'm only joking, don't hold me to heart. But like I'm saying, my brothers and sisters, I really wanted to cover this and some of the people. Did you see that? Yes, we saw the Royal Rumble in Hargeisa. We're gonna break that down on what's it called, open mic, or probably on Saturday. Saturday we've got another topic, but open mic, we're gonna definitely discuss that, definitely. But guys, my brothers and sisters, I really wanted to talk about this. KS, what was your thoughts on recent events? And we've got a little video. Should we break the video first? Let's have a look at it.
Yeah, let's have the video first. Yeah.
Let's have a look at the video first, of this video that I've got. And this one's the first one. It shows what we were talking about when it comes to... And there was a group called Al-Sunnah Al-Jama', if I'm right or wrong.
Yes.
So this is the first video. Let me just say it up for us.
Galmudug ayaa ku jirta xaalad jahwareer ah. Kooxda Al-Sunnah ayaa dib u soo rogaal celisay iyadoo maanta qabsatay magaalada muhiimka ah ee Gurceel. Kooxdan ayaa hal sano iyo dhowr bilood ka hor ciidankeedii ku wareejisay dowladda federaalka ah iyadoo markii dambena si awooda deegaanka looga saaray hogaankii kooxda. Muddo ayay dibad joog ahaayeen, balse dhowaan ayay Sheekh Shaakir iyo Macallin Maxamuud dib ugu laabteen deegaanada Galmudug. Soo laabashadoodu waxay la xiriirtay ka qaybgalka siyaara sanadeed, balse waxay u bedeleen ciidan aruursi. Waxay markii hore sheegeen inay rabaan inay dib u bilaabaan la dagaalanka kooxda Al-Shabaab oo dib u soo xoogaysatay tan iyo markii Al-Sunnah ka baxday gobolka. Balse maamulka Galmudug waxaa la sheegay inuu helay akhbaar sheegaysa in ciidan aruursiga Al-Sunnah inuu xambaarsan yahay damac siyaasadeed iyo inay dib u qabsadaan goobihii ay ku wareejiyeen Galmudug. Maamulka Galmudug ayaa dhowaan ciidan dul dhigay deegaanka Bohol oo ay ku sugnaayeen ciidamada ay aruuriyeen kooxdu. Dagaalla ayaa shalay ka dhacay deegaanka Bohol ee gobolka Galgaduud. Ciidanka dowladda federaalka ah iyo kuwa Galmudug ayaa la sheegay in iyagu dagaalka bilaabeen. Khasaare xoog leh ayaa ka dhashay dagaalkii shalay dhex maray kooxda Al-Sunnah iyo ciidanka Galmudug oo garab ka helaya kuwa dowladda federaalka ah. Waxaa la xaqiijiyey dhimashada in ka badan 10 ruux iyo dhaawac ka badan 20 qof. Qaar ka mid ah ciidankii Galmudug ee goobta u tagay inay la dagaalamaan Al-Sunnah ayaa la xaqiijiyey inay u goosteen dhanka kooxda Al-Sunnah, taas oo adkaysa dagaalka. Kooxda Al-Sunnah ayaa sidoo kale shalay qabsatay 4 gaari oo 2 ka mid ay ahaayeen nooca dagaalka. Maanta oo Jimco ah ayay kooxda Al-Sunnah dagaalaan kula wareegtay magaalada Gurceel. Waxaa la arkayay dadka deegaanka oo si weyn ugu faraxsan soo laabashada kooxdan oo halkaas ka talinaysay muddo ka badan 10 sano. Sida caadiga ah, Gurceel waa magaalo ay wadaadadani ku leeyihiin shacbiyad xoog leh. Al-Sunnah ayaa hadda wada abaabul iyo ciidan qorasho hor leh kadib markay natiijo hordhaca ka gaareen dagaalkii shalay. Hogaamiyaha Galmudug Axmed Cabdi Kaariye ayaa galabta ku laabtay magaalada Dhuusamareeb. Waxaa kaloo la sheegay inay dowladda federaalka u dirtay garab military. Qorqor iyo hogaanka Al-Sunnah ayaan heshiinin tan iyo waagii uu awood ciidan uga saaray magaalada Dhuusamareeb. Waxaa loo arkaa inay tahay fursad la dayacay inaan wada hadal iyo dib u heshiisiin lala furin kooxdan oo caqiid ahaan ku fidsan deegaanka. Waxaa jiray baaqiyo hore oo ahaa in laga baaqsado dagaal kuwaas oo aan shaqaynin, waxaana mar kale madaxda Galmudug iyo kuwa Al-Sunnah labadaba loogu baaqay inay wada hadal ku xalliyaan xiisadda taagan. Beesha degan caasimadda Galmudug oo kala dagaalkii hore taageersanayd in Al-Sunnah la bixiyo si loo tijaabiyo dowladnimada Galmudug oo Dhuusamareeb ku shaqaynaysa ayaan la ogeyn siduu hadda mowqifkoodu yahay iyo inay xiiso u qabaan Galmudug kala taagan iyo Al-Sunnah oo mar kale ka talinaysa deegaanka. tegista uu axmed qorqoor tegay magaalada dhuusamareeb galabta ayaa la filayaa inay jihayso xiisadda. hogaamiyaha galmudug waxaa hor taalla inuu dariiq farsamaysan ku maareeyo ahlu sunna oo uu dabacsanaan kaga gudbo xilli doorasheedkan, ama inuu qaato go'aan dagaal oo toos ah kaas oo aan la aqoonin cidda ku adkaan doonta. maxay kula tahay adiga?
The boy KS, talk to me. This is a couple of months ago. This is the information that we were getting from, the blessed Gobble or Galmudug. Galmudug Basket. I always say that when it comes to the football in the South regions. But talk to me. So who were this group? Who were Al-Shabaab? I can't even pronounce the name, but who are they?
Well, Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah was a Sufi religious organization, and that basically fought against Al-Shabaab. Welcome, Maxi. I think Maxi is from that region too.
Yeah, Maxi. Are you from the region as well, Galmudug?
Assalamu alaikum.
Yeah.
You're from Galmudug as well.
I've got roots there, yeah. So I've got roots in Mogadishu and Galmudug, so same thing. So, so they were a religious organization, and that in the past did great work in fighting Al-Shabaab, keeping Al-Shabaab out of the region. Unfortunately, the name of Sunnah Jama'ah and the group itself has been hijacked by two scrupulous individuals. One of them's named Shakir, and the other one Ma'alim Mahmoud.
What about Qorqor?
Qorqor, he's the elected president of Galmudug. So he's got the law on his side, because that's his job, because he's, he's elected. But these two scrupulous individuals, they held Galmudug hostage for the past 12 years in terms of unity and development. And now they started causing problems for Galmudug.
Let's not be behind the bushes as well. We know who's supporting them.
Who's supporting them, Maxi? Who would you say?
Garowe.
So some people are saying Puland is behind this. I've been hearing a lot of people, but I think the mayor, one of the mayors of Galmudug, the Galkaya mayor of Galmudug, one of the mayors of Puland from Galkaya, the Puland side. He denied it. He said we are not supporting Al-Sunnah Jama'ah, but there's no word from Denny and his administration in Garowe if they are supporting Al-Sunnah Jama'ah. So this group, they claim to represent Al-Sunnah Jama'ah, but as everyone knows, Al-Sunnah Jama'ah is everyone. The majority of Somali people are Sunnah Jama'ah, especially in Galmudug region. The majority of the people are Sufis. So if you go there, you'll find out they have their Sufi traditions and Sufi celebrations in that part of the country. So yeah, that's about it. I don't know, Khalid, if you want to add something, or Maxi, if you want to say something about this organization.
I mean, yeah, there's not much to be said because it was done and dusted with them. They ran back to Garowe just like what they did the first time. They got chased her and he ran to Garowe, and the second time, they came to pretending that they wanted to come back for Siaro, which they were allowed to because they were saying they wanted to do something, religious. And then horse waxay bilaabeen to start to hub soo qaataan ay la dagaalaan maamulka.
Absolutely, Maxi. I think this is the first time we agree, bro, man.
Which means it's a fact, bro.
We and Maxi agree.
It's a fact. It's a fact. But the thing is, there's issues that they caused in the region that today is actually coming to an effect. Like today, I think there was a town called Elder that was overrun by Al-Shabaab. and this is the type of stuff that they do, you know, it's detrimental. You know, you know, and then there's also Mataban. Now I also think that Sharkin Obidishtin, because all of a sudden now we're hearing a town called Mataban, which is a very stronghold of Guru Al-Sunnah Jama'ah, is right next to Guru Al. Never seen Al-Shabaab overrun that town. And now all of a sudden we hear Al-Shabaab is overrunning that town and coming and taking control for a few hours or a few days. And then today, another example today, Al-Lair, we're hearing, I don't know if it's rumors or not, we're hearing that again, Al-Lair got overrun by Al-Shabaab out of the blue. So this is just another, you know, causing issues in the region, and this is only beneficial to certain groups, you know, like especially this region next to us, Puntland, you know. In the Puntland,
And absolutely, there's something fishy going on. But I'll say Puntland is a strong partner for Galmudug. I think Galmudug needs to have a good relationship with Puntland. I would be surprised if Puntland was helping this group to destabilize Galmudug. But I don't know. It's up to people to do investigation. There's a lot of reports coming out saying that Puntland is involved. You know, but let's not forget Puntland has done good things in helping Galmudug to fight Al-Shabaab. You know, so I don't know why they would want to help Al-Sunnah Jama'ah if they are.
It's all political, and it's all to do with the Majo, the election, anything just to become an obstacle for the country moving forward. They will try anything. This is the way I see it anyway.
It's a possibility, you know. Somalia's politics is just absolutely crazy, you know, and it's hard to follow what's happening in that country because there's so complicated. The conflict over there is multi-faceted. It's got so many different angles.
Shall I give you a perfect example? The Minister of Security in Galmudug, who would just resign just before these people attacked Al-Sunnah Al-Jama'ah.
Yeah, Fiqhi, yeah.
Yeah, Fiqhi. Look at this. He was an undercover hater of the stability in the region. He wasn't aligned with Khor. He wasn't aligned with the government that he was working with. He was against him. A Mu'arad that's pretending to be the minister of, and he let these people walk into the towns with weapons, and he's meant to be the minister of security. Yeah. So this is the type of thing like that. There's always a problem with us. Like sometimes after the and this guy doesn't see the things the way you see it, and you don't have the same goals and agendas. Why would you even employ him? Like, you shouldn't even employ him just because of his tribe or whatnot. You know, just keep him moving, because this guy is gonna work against you.
100%, I agree with that, because what Fiqhi done was irresponsible. It was I would call what he done was treason. He turned against his own people, and actually tried to give this group legitimacy. So basically, Galmudug was fighting for its life. Galmudug was fighting for its existence as a federal state, and unfortunately, we had 400 to 500 young people who died in this conflict in both sides. So, and it's a shame, you know. Shakir and Ma'ali Mahmoud, they should be, you know, taken to court and executed. I think they should be executed because we lost 500 men. We lost 500 good men on both sides.
The least we can do them is the least we could have done, put them under house arrest like Hassan Daira was.
I think house arrest is too nice, man. I would say execution. You know, tie them up behind a pole, execute them. Because what they want to do is they want to profit out of the bloodshed of the Somali people. They want to profit out of they want to hold the people of regularly hostage. So if it was me, I would have them executed because it's gone beyond talk now. They've done a lot of damage, and they still haven't backed down yet. So, but I just want to say well done to the people of Galmudug for especially to the heroic people of Al who stood up for Galmudug.
Yes, especially the ladies, the dumarka Lusumareb in the region. They've done a good thing.
A lot of youth died, but I think that was a good fight. May Allah have mercy on them. It's pretty sad that so many people had to die, and we got politicians like Fiqi who are still walking around. They're not being held accountable for what he said and his actions. We got. Does anyone know where Ma'ali Mahmoud is now? Is he in Kenya?
Who is Ma'ali Mahmoud?
He's in Garowe, man. Garowe, most likely in Garowe.
He's in Garowe, yeah.
That's the only way they run to.
Lads, just to for more clarification, any of the brothers and sisters that are not from that area, who is this individual that you guys are mentioning? If you guys don't mind me asking.
Basically, Sheikh Shakil and Ma'ali Mahmoud, they're one of the two leaders of Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah. They made a deal with Khairi when he was the prime minister, and basically they made conditions for the deals, which was, I think, one of them, I can't remember who wanted his son to be an MP in Mogadishu. It was part of the condition. Anyway, they took money. Yeah, they took money. They agreed and they left. But then they came back. They went back on the deal that they made. They tried to hope you realize
I got 2-minute video. Should we play this 2-minute video earlier, Maxi? Let's play this. It's 2 minutes, and this explains how they got shut down and taken over. So let's just kick. It's a 2-minute video. Let's see what this video. Boom. I hope you guys can see it.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. شر جرائد waxaad ogtihiin muddo bila in kooxaha dowladdiidka magaca sunno xambaarsani ay qabsadeen magaalada Gurceel halkaasoo ay lumiyeen dhammaanba kala dambeyntii iyo sharcigii ay u hoggaansan diideen ay keentana in dadka shacbiga ay ka qaxaan ganacsiga iyo noloshooda ay xirmaan muddadaas bilsha ciidamada labada heer dowladda waxay ku sugnaayeen goobahooda dowladduna waxay ku baaqaysay oo dhageysanaysay si walba oo nabad ah oo aan dhibaato uga dhicin inay nimankaas uga baxaan deegaanka loona ilaaliyo inuu halkaas ka dhaco dhibaato shacab waxaase nasiib darro ah saaka aroornimada hore iyagoo soo dagaalgeliyey ardayda dugsiyada qur-aanka iyo haween iyo dad da-ah inay soo weeraraan fadhiisimada ciidamaduna waxay uga jawaabeen si kulul ayay uga jawaabeen waxayna gaarsiiyeen jawaabta ku habboonayd halkaa waxaa ka yimid firxad iyo kala yaac waxaa ciidamadu ay gacanta ku dhigeen arday yaryar oo ilmo yaryar ah oo ardayda dugsiyada qur-aanka ah annagoo uga digayna una sheegayna ciidamadu inay si raxmad leh ula dhaqmaan ciyaalkaas yararkaa la qabtay oo lasoo qalday dhammaanbana goobihii ay awal joogeen ciidamada dowladdu waa la wareegeen firxadkooduna wuxuu u baxay dhinaca miyiga raggii ka dambeeyey arrintan noocaasa iyo faldambiyeedyada looga hor imaanayo sharciga dowladda iyo kala dambeyntana waa lagu raad joogaa waxay mudan yihiin ayaana ay dowladdu la qaadan doontaa dadka reer galmudug ama dadkii ka barakacay deegaankaasna dhammaanba waxa loogu baaqaya inay deegaanadooda si nabada ugu soo noqdaan dowladduna waa taakuleynaysaa ciidamadana waxaa la amrayaa maxaabiistu darajeed doonta ha lahaato cid kastoo la qabto in si naxariis leh loola dhaqmo oo loo soo dhoweeyo oo loo xanaaneeyo wix ama dhaawac ahaadaan ama ha fiyoobaadaane cid kasta oo dowladdu waxay u digaysaa arrimaha noocaasa ee lagu burburinayo dowladda galmudug ee lagu carqaladaynayo kala dambeynta iyo sharciga meel kastoo iyo daraf kastoo ay galmudug ka joogaan dowladdu isha ayay ku haysaa waxayna ku qaban doontaa gacan bir ah loomana dulqaadan doono waxaan u baaqaynaa dhallinyarada la qalday ee haata duurka galay si nabada inay iskugu soo dhiibaan dowladda ciidamada dowladda waxaan faraynaa inay si walaalnimo ah oo ehelnima usoo dhaweeyaan aan waxba loo geysan.
What you guys think of that video?
I think that was a great clip because it emphasized, you know, when that video just reminded me of, because that's when I questioned the opposition, the Somali opposition, and because when the conflict started in Gurel, and first many of them never said anything, but when the war started heated up, some of them started supporting the Sunnah Jama'ah, and I was taken aback. I was shocked. So it made me question the opposition, what their motive was, because then you start to think like these opposition figures, they don't really care about the people in that sense. You know, they don't really care about long-term stability.
I don't.
No,
I think
no,
that's
no.
been. I think that's
He's
been
got a
clear.
point
Go ahead,
here,
mate.
you know.
Oh
Yeah,
my
because
God.
you know
that's when I
you
started.
got someone like Abdurrahman Abshakur who hails from that region. His people hail from that region, but he never ever advocates for peace and stability. Or if anything, he was more of a محلها and qaladka labada dhinac ay leedahay when he was talking about this issue when it was arising. Nothing to do with waxaa la subiye waa qalad hubna loo soo qaato ciidan dowlad waa qalad. None of that talk. All he had to say on the issue was like, oh, labada dhinac ba waa qalad bay leeyihin. And this is the thing, he never speaks about his region. He's constantly in this show talking about waxyaalo loo baahnayn oo siyaasadda qalad ugu jiro. And this is it. We've got a lot of guys that hail from that region that don't even say nothing when this type of things like a So
Absolutely, yeah.
Maxi,
yeah.
Chaos, can you guys hold up the panel for me? I'm going to be back in 2 minutes, innit? Yeah.
Yeah,
5 minutes.
Maxi, I agree with you 100% because I remember Hassan Sheikh Mahmoud making a speech and he was actually supporting Al-Sunnah Jama'ah, and I thought that was I could not accept that because I know Ma'ali Mahmoud, Bishakir, they're not good people. You know. I know
Hassan Sheikh is the guy that waited until almost the end of his term, just for the re-election to even fully accept Galmudug as a state. This is when he bought Abdul Karim Guled and he made an election there and he started putting money into that. But prior to that, he was neglecting the region. He didn't care until he wanted a vote in Okohelo. And that's why Galmudug is actually done a lot by itself for a long, long time. And now it's actually been recognized as one of the major states, like, because it's so inclusive. Like every Qabil is almost in there, you know, like everyone's got a seat in their parliament. Everyone's got to say. A lot of people live in that region. It's not only just one particular group of people that live there, you know.
Also, one good thing this government's done, which I agree with, is them smashing Al-Sunnah Jama'ah. Because I remember the previous governments, they tried to have negotiations with them. They gave them money.
Yeah.
They bribed them. It never worked.
Because they've been weakened, you know, from time when you had ciidankooda oo Al-Sunnah Jama'ah oo lagu soo daray ciidanka koolatanaad ciidanka Somaliland. They basically, and the thing is that they never used to pay the troops, because you got to remember, you know who used to pay Al-Sunnah Jama'ah? Ethiopia used to pay them. Most of the salary used to come from Ethiopia. So now that Abiy Ahmed took over and that revenue there stopped, they were literally on the last legs, you know, and they were very keen on.
Well, Maxi, this one you got me today, man. I agree with you 100%, bro, man. I can see, especially from this angle, I can see your points, man.
Yeah, but this is what I tell you,
mean?
like, you know, you like listen, Chaos, like, look, the way the thing is supposed to be working is like this, yeah. There's a federal government and there's federal states. If the leaders of the federal states are not aligned with the federal government, yeah, nothing's gonna go forward. And this is why I agreed with Farmajo that the first job that he had to do was put someone in parliament that obviously that's working closely with the government, yeah? And then start going for the state leaders. Put state leaders there that are going to work closely with the government as well, that are going to be on the same side. And this is the only way things can work. You can't have someone that's not working in alliance with you. Like, you got two different agendas. Nothing's ever gonna go right. And this is the only reason Somalia started had the theory. For example, look now, KS here. How many states is there in Somalia?
About 6, something like that.
Okay. A majority are with the government, correct?
Yeah.
And that's a big achievement. You see this? You see what I'm trying to say to you?
Yeah, he's
That
done
alone
yeah.
is a big achievement. Look at that Kokor today. He works closely with the government. And what's the one in Central
Loftegren.
He works closely with the government. The one in Hijacked, they work closely with the government.
Yeah.
You see, slowly. It's only Puntland and Jubaland that's now are in the mix. Somaliland, so Jubaland and Puntland only. So now, you see, they became the minority, where before the majority of the states never used to work at all with the federal government. So that's progress.
That's, you have to give it to Famacha for that.
And he set the pace for the next government.
That.
For the next government, he made it easier for the next person to come into government, because he, line and that's how things are going to continue from now on. You know what I'm saying?
I think one of the biggest problems we have at the moment is Al-Shabaab. Al-Shabaab, they still have a lot of territory. They, they're very confident. They started, I've been hearing reports that they started taking income tax from...
Look at this. Yeah, look. Yeah. Jubaland is one of the main states that they get income from, Al-Shabaab, If that state was working closely with the government and there was more government troops, like see now in Galmudug, look at now, Galmudug, Galkayo, Lusumreb, all the cities, there's large numbers of Somali army. There's two types, I think there's a couple of types of Somali armies there. I think there's the Harmad and there's the other one as well. They're based there, you know what I mean? So imagine if the Somali army was like that, flexed out all throughout Juba.
Yeah, that would be good. I agree with you. That would be good. That would...
but that can only come with...
Look at Afghanistan now.
When you're working closely.
Afghanistan, they're under one regime now. They're under one government. But us, the Somali people, we still haven't... I agree with you, Maxi, that we need to have one regime in the country. With one security apparatus. I agree with you 100% on that. And that's what's going to bring stability, And
let's support whoever is in power, because obviously we've got this system in place. Like, we're literally going to have sharing power, all this is going on. But let's just support each other whilst the person is in power, just say for the benefit of the country.
I agree with you. That's a good point. Well, in the long term, that'll be better. That'll bring stability and hopefully end this war.
Inshallah.
Inshallah, that's what we want to. Because the problem we have people using tribe to make people fight each other. So some people, they actually buy into it. They believe in this tribal stuff, and they start seeing the other people as a threat to them and stuff like that, and just continues the violence. Then you end up. Do
you guys think that's our problem, because we are trying to govern through Qabil, and this is what the downfall of Somaliland is? Just like literally, I think I just said it in one word.
Always, yes.
We can't realize even every region. But do you think that's the best way to govern Somaliland? Let big power regions control the areas in and out of the Garnio, and it works in Somaliland and Puntland. Well, Muhammad, I think them two are good template.
Khalid, we're in a time now where I'm saying knowledge. The Somalis, they've gone to diaspora for so many years. They've gained knowledge in every aspect of so we can get those people in those positions. See, this political system was just to put us in a nakasho. Foundation, you got that now. But now, let's give ministerial positions, certain positions, because of the knowledge you have. where you can
Yes.
put into the table, you know, like
Yes,
we've gone
yes.
past that bit now. That is the time now to say, look, we can't keep going back with Qabila, you know what I mean? All we're thinking about is moving forward. So moving forward means we need to put the right people in the right positions.
Absolutely, because what tends to happen is like we have people without ethics who tend to use tribe to enrich themselves. You know, I can give names. You know, I can give names of some of these people, but if I mention their name, you know, they probably might come after me. These are not people you just mention their names in public. You know what I mean? So what they tend to do is you tend to think, oh yeah, they care about the country, they care about the people, but what they use is tribe to get people angry, and they use the opportunity to make more money, and then you see like people are worse off, people are fighting each other, things have become worse, but the one who started this is just, he's just laughing, you know, and they tend to distance themselves from the situation once it's,
But Kaya, saying that then, yeah, okay, isn't it a compass on us to? This is where the problem I think lies. Is like, for example, I'm at the shisha market. Let's name him. Yeah, I had a pleasure to do an interview, but I didn't even know what this guy did. A man like that even Kenya in the ISS meeting were looking to bring for a witness that signed paperwork. That all of a sudden saying, how do you have the audacity to sit there and try to govern when you've got a clear history of this? That's number one. Number two, for me, I've always said this year, this whole you can't touch him or Kabili Kena. Okay, cool. Well, so what is it? We always gonna go through this circle? It's a time where and should ministers even get paid? Should the next generation of Somali people that want government, should they get paid money for doing this? Shouldn't it be volunteer? That's what I think. I think like we strip away money from these guys, like a wage. Should we take that away from them? So there's no lag. And then what about this? What about this one? You have to declare your assets before you even join.
Yes, that's what I was gonna say. Yeah, there should be some scrutiny on these people's finances and assets in where they stand and what they gain from the government. Because we've seen that a lot. A lot of them leave government very rich. They already passed in a law that says that the MPs want to get paid for life. You know, like even when they leave the post, they still want to get their salaries.
Who does that? What nation does that?
Yeah, that's
what nation does that? So
Mm.
this is what's going to cause. It's going to cause the rich, the poor, and the government. That's the three sectors that Somali people are going to break into. Is either you're rich, your family's nice, the other one nice, or you're in the government, or you're poor. It's literally that three. I think that's what I personally think. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think you know what it is.
100%.
We're making some
I think
sort of
they
slow
should renounce
progress.
their most of them have foreign passports, citizenship. They need to renounce that. So if you got a British passport or you got American passport and you want to work for the Somali government, you need to renounce that citizenship.
Well, Farmajo did that.
Only people with Somali nationality should be allowed to be in government.
So you're saying ban all diasporas from being in the government? Anyone that's
yes, yeah.
Currently, that means like 70% of government. You know, like at least probably 80% of government. You say that loud. I was so done. Like,
if it was up to me, I would only pay the soldiers and security people wages. And
do you remember
civil servants
during Hassan Sheikh time, basically,
because the troops and the soldiers, they're the ones who are putting their lives at risk. I wouldn't pay politicians at all. I wouldn't give them a salary.
This is what I'm saying.
Bro, I was gonna say to you that we've come a long way, you know.
Yeah.
Can you not hear me?
So Khalid, you were telling us, mashallah, But you have to understand, Khalid, Somaliland and Puntland, it's different to South Somalia, because South Somalia you got so many tribes.
Mm-hmm.
So because if you go to Somaliland, you probably just got 2 or 3 big tribes there.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you go to Puntland, you probably got just one big tribe. But if you go to Somalia, you got so many tribes in South Somalia.
Yeah.
You know? So, and you know, if you look at Al-Shabaab, most of the Al-Shabaab recruits are from smaller tribes who are not happy with, you know, with the way they're being treated by bigger tribes.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah, so I don't think, can it work? I don't know. I don't know if it can work. You know, the only thing that can work is good leadership, but Somalia doesn't, you know, have that yet. You know, maybe like Maxi pointed out, is probably heading to that direction. You know,
Mm-hmm.
so, but yeah. So, Khalid, what do you think of Ali, what do you think of Somaliland becoming independent?
Oh, you wanna go down there? I am champion for that. My friend, my
Yeah.
honorable friend Mohammed knows day and night that I champion for Somaliland to become its own independent state, a nation that should be recognized. Yes, it's that sister Hawaii. Big up, my sister family in the building. But I want this whole we as a I want to you if we're gonna do this here realistically. How is that? I wanna in the Liga my brothers in. How is that blue flag ever gonna wave in Hargeisa? I'm from Hargeisa. How's that gonna happen?
And I don't know, Khalid. Why? Because if you look at Somaliland now, I think if someone from Hargeisa, you know, once they look at Somalia, you know, they don't want to come to Somalia, because any sane person wouldn't want to come to Somalia, because Somalia at the moment has got so many problems.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why would you want to, you know, go deep into that when you see all this madness? But on the other hand, Khalid, why is it the international community hasn't yet recognized Somaliland? You think there's an anti-Somalian war there? Because
For me,
you have a country that's democratic, that's stable, that's peaceful.
uh,
Yeah.
uh,
Why are they not recognizing this country? Because they already recognized South Sudan.
mm-hmm.
Bro, you
They
listen, Wallah,
recognize many
KS,
other
bro.
countries. Why are they not recognizing
Wallah, this
Somaliland?
guy, bro. You listen, this
Is
is
that
the
because
reason why
of
we
the
don't ever
hatred
discuss
they
this
have
topic, you
for
know.
Somali people?
See, this type of guy, you know, is
You
the
know?
type of guy that we don't even talk about this topic, you know.
What do you think,
Yeah.
Khalid? It's good.
KS Sokola, no?
Yeah.
KS
Why?
Sokola is some emotional type of guy, but you know, like he can't even be logic, like rumo kali karata, you know.
No,
Bro,
what I mean, Maxi, what I mean,
anyway,
yeah, is there seems to
bro,
be a hatred of Somali people.
there's no hatred, there's nothing, bro. And at the end of the day, it's not even an issue currently. It's only going to become an issue when Somalia is stable and we're going to think how to address it. So Hadratan, all this every day, it's nothing, bro. Both sides, you know what I say that? Because Somaliland, really and truly, if they really want to succeed, succession code, they have to come to Somalia. They're the only ones, the international community's got nothing to do with it. Whatever they're trying to ask for Adan man or all these other countries, it's got nothing to do with anyone. Only people that can come to is Somali federal government and sit down and have a dialogue with them. But for now, Somali government cannot even have a dialogue with Somaliland because ayaga sheeko kale ku abuuran, sheeko ulus baa saaran, waxyaalo shaqo badan laga sugayaaba ayaga. So at the moment, it's not even anything oo laga hadli karabo. It's nothing to be discussed because it's just that.
Maxi KS, I beg you, hold up the panel for me. I'll come back 2 minutes, yeah?
Alright. So brother KS,
Yeah.
brother KS, when someone like you talks about it and says, "Oh, there's hatred and this and that," you're talking for yourself. I don't know what are you talking about. Because people like me, I don't see this as an issue. I see people just saying, because there's two options to it. It's either logical or emotional. Logic, why? You asking for something that you can only get for someone, which is the Somali federal government. And emotional is like, oh, what's ka qaylin aniga no matter what waxa taagan aniga waa go'ay wadan ahay. That's emotional. Ma fahmino. So that's the two options, bro.
Wait, so what's your guys' opinion on Galmudug? On the tensions in Galmudug. So what's your guys' opinion on that?
I think me and Maxi we talked about it earlier.
Yeah. What'd you guys say?
No, we both said like what happened, what the government's response, and Galmudug's response to us.
Oh, you're cutting out. Huh?
Sunnah Jama'ah was correct. You know, going to war with this terrorist organization.
Al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah.
Yeah,
Al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah. Yeah,
was a good thing. So we agreed with it. We agreed what happened was the correct response.
But they quickly fled.
And KS also agreed that and get away ku carareen.
No, they went to Galkaya. No, they went to Galkaya, I think.
Okay, but who's supporting them? Was Puntland?
I don't think so. I don't know. I mean, I think Puntland should take over Galkaya and kick out Galmudug and kick out Hawi. Take over the entire city of Galkaya line. Just take over. That's just my opinion, to be honest. I don't think they have full control of Galkaya. But like, still, they keep going to the other side of Galkaya, the Galmudug side of Galkaya. That's the problem. They hide out there, and they just keep coming back.
And who comes back?
Al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah. They keep coming back to these towns, Gurial and Mataban, and like other towns further south. So,
well, where did they hide? What part of Galkaya did they hide?
The Galmudug side.
Are you sure about that?
Because you know how it's split in two. You have the Puntland side, you have the Galkaya side. So I mean the Galmudug side.
You know when the conflict was happening, Galmudug forces and forces from the federal government, they arrested Sunnah Jama'ah fighters in Galkaya.
Big ups Puntland, Puntland's best functioning state in all Somalia/Somaliland, Big ups Puntland,
Yeah. No, but I was just going to point out when the conflict started, Galmudug and the federal government, they arrested Sunnah Jama'ah fighters in Galkaya, in the Galmudug side.
Mm-hmm.
But now you're telling me Sunnah Jama'ah is in Galkaya.
Well, you said they arrested them in Galkaya in the Galmudug side, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I said. What do you mean?
No, you said Sunnah Jama'ah, they're hiding.
Oh, you went on mute. Sure. Said that they were hiding in the Galmudug side of Galkaya.
No, what? Sorry, I lost. It was a mute for a second. You said Sunnah Jama'ah is in Galkaya, in Galmudug side.
Yeah, Galmudug side. Yeah.
Did you say as a safe haven?
Yeah. They hide out there. Yeah.
Are they still hiding then?
That's not actually true, bro. Listen, Al-Sunnah Jama'ah is from Galmudug region. They're from the Gurael, Mataban, those region.
Actually, I was going to get into that.
And the incident you're talking about is like the wounded came and tried to regular dawai. They tried to come and try to in that way stalk Galkaya. Isla markiina waa la soo sheegay because waa la aqooday oh this is the guys that were fighting. So it wasn't something like that. That's not a safe haven for them. Galkaya is not even their territory.
It's not in their territory.
At the Melo Array, and they probably run to Abduwak or Garaway or these Daro territories.
I feel like Al-Sunnah wal-Jama'ah is a Hawiya issue. They're mostly Habargidr. I mean, they're from Gurial and Mataban. So I don't know.
That's how you don't even know that. He's not spot on. But the thing is, majority is Marahan. The percentage of
a few of them Marahan.
Habargidr no waxa wajiro waa cayr. The majority lagu sheegay waa cayr kaliya lagu leeyahay. Cayr kaliya u jirto Habargidr. All the leadership, everyone is Marahan and cayr.
Sheikh Shakir as well.
labadaas kaliya aad dirtaan oo madaxooda muuqdo. But before that, there's kuwa kale ka go'san oo Abduwaq joogo. There's a big majority of them that on Marahan are jiraan. But majority of the Habargidir ones, they already joined the Idanka Somalia. They're all part of the Idanka Latino Covenant. They're all stationed in Somareb and in Mhalla and in the Gur'al and Mataban.
Bro, didn't Al-Shabaab take over Mataban like 3 days ago? 3 or 4 days ago, Al-Shabaab took over Mataban.
For a couple of hours I had. Today they even took. Today they took.
Just burned the police station and ran away.
Yeah, apparently what they do is they come in, they go to the middle of the town center and they make a little speech, and then by Maghrib they are at the town. They've done the same thing in Elder. I don't know if they're still in there today.
So, yeah. Any other questions, Yusuf? Huh? So, Yusuf, who do you support? Who did you support in this conflict?
I support the state, obviously. Why would I support this terrorist organization? What the?
Yeah.
Who in their right mind would support this terrorist organization, man?
Yeah, you're right. But the problem is, like, in that part of the country, there's a lot of people who are not educated that,
of course,
they hear the name of Sunnah Jama'ah and they just support it because of the name. Because a lot of the people over there are Sufis.
Yeah, they have this notion that just because they're Sufi, that means they're good.
Yeah.
That they're a good group to follow and that they're peaceful and that
exactly.
But they're not. That's the exact opposite.
Yeah, because I speak to people over there, and there's a lot of people that support just the name. They support the name. I have loyalty. You try to explain it to them that these two people, they don't represent Al-Sunnah Jama'ah. Everyone's Al-Sunnah Jama'ah. That you're not trying to attack their religion.
Because a lot of people have talked about how when they take over towns, they steal people's livestock and stuff like that. And
absolutely. These people,
they have no revenue of income since Ethiopia stopped paying them, because that's the only revenue of income they used to get.
But back in the day,
interesting Ethiopia was paying them. That's interesting.
Because back in the day, they used to fight Al-Shabaab for real.
I think it was the locals. Like, Maxi pointed out before, Al-Sunnah Jama'ah is big. It's got many tribes, many regions in Galmudug. But now most of the Al-Sunnah Jama'ah, they joined the government.
And you know who done the worst damage on the government recently? I think they killed 1 or 2 Sarakile Dilin. Was the Dir clan, part of the Al-Sunnah Jama'ah. They're quite savages. Yeah, bro. Dir are quite savages. Like, malaga rankara dagaal hadii noqoto beemaal dira jiro dirko badii.
There are so few.
Nah, bro, they're not few. They're quite a lot, man. They're quite a lot.
I think they're one of the main tribes. Yeah, they're savage, man. Actually,
I think they're mainly in Ethiopia, though. They're mostly in Ethiopia, though.
I'm telling you.
No. They're in the Mudug region.
The ones in Mudug.
I had personally sheekada hata Sarakish ayaga dileen. Ayaga dagaalka hata. I remember the first time they lost. On the second day, I don't know. The fighters, that's the Bulland guys. Anyway,
I remember they fought.
I think sometimes I hear they call him Derby Darod. They call him Derby Darod. Marka galka ay isku dagaalo. Yeah, when they fight galka, they're the ones that back you lot. Yeah, you Machertena always in the back. Yeah.
Wallahi we boofing. Wallahi سبعنا boofing. Wallahi. They're the ones that pulled up in Galkayo and just. Who?
Lucas, you're talking about Lucas.
Yeah, back in 2017 and 2018 when that whole skirmish happened in Galkayo.
Pullen Fez's Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas, they should join Galmudug, because literally they don't want to be part of Puntland,
They can't leave Puntland, they're surrounded, man.
Nah, they got the city on lock, Goldobo. I can't even pronounce it.
Yeah, but the city's surrounded by
Hawiye, bro.
Settlements, man.
The little half which you're going to put them in trucks, just the way the way they did it. Just gonna put them in trucks, like bomb and send them to Bury. We're gonna send you to the desert.
You're not gonna move it from Galkayo. Hold up.
Nugal. We're gonna send it to the desert, bro. That's where you belong. Go join the rest of your people, them. We're gonna
Nah, you
Mudug
guys,
dan waa kaa wadaya.
you guys just want to be removed from Galkayo. The way you guys been behaving, wallahi. You guys need to be removed out of
Puntland. I think
Well,
there's
it
an
don't
understanding
make
now
sense.
between
Like
Puntland and Galmudug.
we're there in Mudug, yeah. See, Mudug, yeah, Galgadud, yeah, it's a whole region, yeah, and we are majority. Only little town called Galkayo, half from Macherten, but no haistan. You know, we just 4-6 trucks, but hopefully, you know, like we can put them in 6 trucks here, and they can be gone, like, back to the desert.
That's a desert.
Hey, we can't hear you. You're on mute.
I said walaalo that in يروحهم waxaad inuu tiigada majority of my views waxay kalkacaya ka imaadeen waa dad MJ oo laandheerayaala aad iyo aad
Facts.
Aad iyo aad.
aad iyo aad walaalo dad laandheera bas ka cayso walaalo
marti fiican ha noqdaa marka hay
kalkacayo walaalo waa lagula leeyahay
marti
sida Solia Sanag anigu waa lila leeyahay Oldal waa lila leeyahay
True, look at that.
agarnas walaalo adigna
adiga waa lagu ogolyahay meelaad truck dadka ku gurtay aniga mali ogolana dadka truck ku guro. Come on, man. Let's be fair.
Daluda abti adigu landera oo habigirira walaalo oo landera san hawiyo oo dhan. That's my opinion. I'm gonna throw it out there in here. So all my Abgar brothers and sisters are gonna be a bit, cheesed up. But we love you. I love you from the north. But listen to this here. Wala aluni landera. Wilga ya Allah dad kula digna. O wilga dad kudex jiri. O imku kula dad bandan gaadi saaraya.
It's not gonna work, fam.
It's not gonna work, man. Yeah. Hasmudi, Somaliland basmudi na de.
Man, I'm not gonna get to the extreme. I know how to martida edaba ku joogto, you know, like it's always there. You're welcome, you know, like.
No, be fair though. It's your side that's always starting shit. Nah, it's your side that's always starting shit.
Nah, the whole. أنا فيري ومدة Somalia مرقاتين قاعة. marka ana adiga marka la isqabsano Soomaali kala oo maalin waxa la majartaan iyo aniga qaldan every single Somali wuxuu leeyahay majartaan waa qaldan yahay
that's a bias man walaalo anyway qabyaalada naga taay walaalo ka yar leexano meesha FTK ma hayna dariye agaansiye meesha xaaladu way yar xumaatay but maxay halkii yaraan ugu saacili walaalo xalad baahan before qabyaaladan galnay
we was talking about the leaders, you know.
And you're saying magaalada the leaders in your magalo or in yarba kula degna ha ya waxa in yarba la degna oo kalkacaya kusi wado
earlier we was talking about, you know, the federal states and the federal government leaders of the federal states basically working in alliance with the federal government. This has basically so far we mentioned all the other states in Somalia, they're all working in alliance with the government except for 2, Jubaland and Puntland. And then Jubaland is also the state where Al-Shabaab gets the most revenue. And the thing is, we need a leader there that's working closely with the government as well.
Salam alaikum, guys.
Alaikum salam, brother Ahmed. Sado. Hota, was it Mojo? Salam alaikum, brother or sister.
Mojo?
Now this guy or sister, I don't know, male or female.
Wa alaikum salam, Sa'ad.
Sahib, you want to start the wall? First time on Somali speakers at start the wall.
Wando Sahib. Yerka Yusuf hadalkiisa xoogaa ka yara xanaaqay hawiyawi markuu dhahay Max markuu la hadlan dareemay inay is yara kuleysanayaan ay iskuleystaan sound bow soo
maya walaal waa kaftan kaliya
maya ma dhaxgalay
Sefta adigu ina yara dhig adigna yara dhig xogeer bay soo
kulleeyay programka dhanka wanaagsan baan ka daawanay faantay markuu hadalka uu soo qaado xoogaa waxaan dareemay xoogaa xamaasadan dareemay waxaan isdhahay diji ma faantay Max heestaan arko waxaan dhahay okay laba rago baashaalayo way dib ma lahan
way
marka arrimo arrimaha Somali baa ka hadlaysaan Soomaan maxaa xal
everyday wax kale ma ka sheegin xal but of course waliga wax kale ma sameeyay this whole channel is dedicated to our issues
Somali community man Somali community channel
this is it that's all we do we don't specialize on nothing else but we try to give a perspective of all different angles. Every single Somali brothers and sisters is welcome to this panel. Non-Somali brothers and sisters are welcome as well sometimes to put your input. But we're here to, you know, to really break down the nitty-gritty of what is really good. Can we get this beautiful nation of beautiful people back in track? Because at the end of the day, they left us a mess. I always say the older generation have left us a mess, and can we do another 30 years of this? That's the main thing. That's the main thing Somali Speakers was created. Big up, real SNM. Well, I love it. SS family members are in the building today. You know, the sisters and the family members.
Look at that last comment.
taariikhda dalka dib loo eego ma aragtay wax yar hadda taariikhda dalka dib loo eego dadku waxay dhahaan ma aragtay SYL way dagaalantay Sayid Maxamed Cabdullahi Xasan wuu dagaalamay waaqiciga ka daran tahay way ka daran tahay waaqiciga hadda ku jirnaa ka daran wuuna ka halis badan yahay dadka waaga hor fardaan isku dagaali jira hadda faras waa laga gudbay ma fahantay caadi la isku qoriya gacmaha noola geliyey waana la kala sisirtay lacagtii waana lagu wadaa drugskii waana lagu wadaa ma fahantay hadda dee rag hadday soo baxayaan dee ragga way gubanayaan saaxiib ragga waxaa loo baahan yahay caqli leh ii sheeg diin leh ii sheeg soomaalinimada ku weyn tahay dee haddana Somaliland Puntland Galmudug Hiirshabeelle koonfur galbeed seen iskugu keenaa iban maskaxda diidaysa xataa ma fahantay soo marka in dhalinyarada ay fadhiistaan ay doodaan si caqli wax isku fahansiyaan Soomaalinimada wax ka wanaagsan ma lahan hadda Puntland tahay Somaliland tahay
my next topic
Soomaalinimada wax ka wanaagsan ma lahan
Beriyahan, my boy Maxi will tell you, man, on different platforms, what is Somalinimo? And is there such a thing? Maxi, you've seen the arguments and the debates. Do you guys, Tama Yarafalakain Karna, Man Yaragalna, Mayarafalakaina, Hekulata?
Yeah, Rusa, no.
Somalinimo. Ahmed, KS, how do you pronounce the name? Bojo. We call you Bojo, innit? Yeah? Bojo. Baracho, Bocho, zeros here. My brother Zeros here from
Assalamu alaikum.
Okay, alaikum assalam Zero. Swash imkan bandigono. Ang yarafal qaintono wala liyalis, yeah. Somalinimo. And I'm gonna say this out loud again, my brothers and sisters. Kelmeda ma'naha, and I want to ask every brother, is there, and everyone in the audience, wala liyal, Cambredi una one darte, Somalinimo. What is it? Heitai. Is it a thing? What is it? Is it a solution? Williged me Somalinimo mechirte, and I want to be respectful. Idwa barregina diba and todno and kalafalaqeno. Dadka chat kana please chime in. We're gonna put your questions on the board. Good of the KS Kusa'a. Then we go Maxi, Zero, Walaki Ahmed, and then in the command Martida and Gusub or Kusor Dawada, please. I feel Martida Kusur.
waxyara fikirkii ka diibana
go ahead.
horta markuu ugu horeyso muu maleynayo maaragtay in Soomaalinimo hore u jiro Soomaalinimadu waa weligeed wax jirsa ila tahay oo luqadda Soomaaliga ka dareemaysa wax gadaal iska yimaado ma oo dad oo kala maqnaa oo isku imaaday oo meel kala degnaa oo dad reer dhaqata oo maaragtay baadiiska oo xoolahoodu iska raaci jiro u baanahay ma fahantay isna ogaan jiray kaliya maaragtay safarada iyo waxyaabaha iyo markuu cadowga yimaado un baa la isku ogaan jiray Soomaalinimada laba mid ku noqon kartaa amba lineage ku noqon kartaa oo familkaaga in hebel Omar iyo arin hadda soo cusboonaato gabadha naftirkeeda Soomaalida waxay dhashay waa Soomaali because dalkii waxa ugu yeedhan dhulkii hooyo Soomaali gabadha soo hooyo maahan wiilka dhashay waa Soomaali labada way yuusan qabiil qaadan laakiin waa Soomaali labada un bay la taani baxay
Kusi what he wants to take the question walaalkii walaa si fiican si haboon si qurux badan khair Allah kusi naadero ya kusi wadaya he's going to take over this one KS do you want to go for it this word has been debating a lot of people from different sides different angles but we might even do a live stream about it. What is Somalinimo? Is it such a thing? But go ahead. Well, okay, go for it.
I mean, I would say Somalinimo is respecting another person's halal decision. No one's better than anyone else. No one should force their belief on anyone else. And so if people want to unite, under Somali anymore, or they want to have another vision, you just respect it. The most important thing is life. Don't harm another person's life.
Yes.
Your property, your dignity, and help them. If you see they're falling down, help them. Don't backstab them. Which happens a lot now. You find other Somalis backstabbing each other, killing each other for no reason.
That's
You're
true.
supposed to help each other. Be kind to each other. If people disagree with you, you just respect that. So Maxi, where's Maxi? Maxi knows a lot about this.
He's right there. He's come back. He's on the panel.
So
Yeah,
anyone? Yeah, Maxi, you want to add your point?
I thought the question was what is Somalimo in it?
Yeah.
Basically, the concept Somalimo never existed before until we all into Islam Imate. Kulligan, all these different tribes, we all came united under Somalimo because of the Deen, Islam. That's when we became Somalis, Before that, we were all Warsangeli, Ajuran, Heblai, Hebli, you know what I'm saying? With no, with no Deen as well, Under Islam, we all became Somali. So that's what makes us Somali. And this is what I see as Somali. All these people from different lineage and lahayn dadka qaarkood you see the Bantus, the Barawanis, kulligan waxaas kugu imaanay diintaas. That's how we became Somali. And from there on, that's when our identity was created and we became a nation. And obviously we got colonized after that. Obviously we went through every country in the world goes through hardships and stuff like that, like history. We've seen the empires broken down after hundreds of years, but people always get up, So inshallah, I'm always optimistic. Like Somali is gonna get back to its feet. It's gonna become great again. It might not be my generation. It might be the next generation. So I'm always that optimistic. But the meaning of Somali, that's what it means to me, That Somali or school imaden or magaca sheegareyen on diintana isla qaateen. That's me.
So you consider Bantus Somali?
100% Somalis.
Okay, that's a first.
It's not first. But we can argue I know they're not ethnically they're not Somalis, but nationalistically they're Somalis.
That's confusing. They're either Somalis or they're not Somali.
Yeah. The first time I saw Bantu.
Go ahead, Zero. Go ahead, Zero. Go for it, bro.
Yeah, this year is my first time hearing of a Somali Bantu. I was confused since I've never ever seen one before, and I don't understand the Somali identity in the south. So I'm from the north, Djibouti. So I don't understand who you guys consider Somali. How do you define it? Is it by nationality? Is it by ethnicity? What's going on?
Welcome to the Rewukoyi Club, by the way. I like to, as a fellow Northerner, that is $1 million question. $1 million question. Even earlier, there was a room in another platform that we go into, and we heard the most ridiculous items. And do you understand? And it's just not me from the Wukoyi saying this. There's a lot of us saying, well, what is going on? So that's a whole different complex. I say Zero. That is a beautiful question that you've just answered. You're slightly in there as well, because I'm not gonna lie to you, from up your region, you don't see none of them as well, sis. So for me, that's a whole nother ball game. But that's another problem in the south, and we'll speak about that. But I want to really get down to who hasn't answered. I think Ahmed hasn't spoken about Somali so far. So I'd just like to hear Ahmed's.
Speaker, what do you think? But to you, though, what do you think Somali is?
Somali Nimo. What Somali
Yes.
is? Somali Nimo, I think.
Somali Nimo.
Like my brother from Djibouti to Wugoiga I feel like it's something that we haven't seen yet. I don't think this is something that we haven't witnessed yet. Somali Nimo. For me saying what Somali Nimo is, it's when you see your fellow brother or sister, Humanto Kudado, or Nag, Do you get where I'm coming from? I love Farhadi. You know the ones when you celebrate one of in Keno and Antena doing something. When something back home, when you see a disaster or Somalia or what about to get, you know, if you have that nahris, you know,
yeah, of course,
man. To see that walalaha arigu kueg or debatation and that's to me that's Somali nimo. Nothing else. It's not this Afban Kushek and it's not no, it's none of that crap in it, yeah. It's if I see my fellow brother and sister that's in need, that needs help, and I'm good Gary on that's Somali nimo for me.
That's Somali nimo.
In a nutshell for me. What about you, Ahmed Broski?
Well, like, there's no other way that I can put it, bro. Hence why I asked you the question, bro. Like you said, that's it there. That's it.
I also see it as a way to prevent foreigners from coming in. So to be Somali, I believe you do have to have a qabil. So I do think that's one of the other things. But I don't understand.
Necessary. That's something he meant, because boy, we've been having some arguments nowadays with some sisters saying some the new radical modern Somali women, some of them are trying to rip that out of the wall for their own nefarious ways, but we're not going to get into that. That's a whole nother subject. Go for it. What are you saying? First, you have to have a qabil. Is that what you're saying? That's a criteria. That's a good criteria. Go ahead.
And other than that, I don't see what other argument or other concept there can be. Like, you have a common identity, you have the same religion, and you're part. You also have a qabil that's Somali. So that's the only thing I see as Somali Nemo. And I don't see any other requirements or anything other than that. So you guys from the South have to explain to me what is this concept of Somali Nemo, because that's the only thing I know as Somali Nemo. You have a qabil, you share the same religion, you speak Somali, and you have a qabil. If I haven't said it already.
Oh, powerful. Okay. What's your name? Hirsi, Iwaramolalo. How are you?
Alhamdulillah, fiican. How are you guys?
Alhamdulillah. Sabuti. Waxay kelmad yar baa maqashay tiri sabuti. Waxaa ku yara dhibay. Halal yar baa ku yara dhibaynaade. Anugu saxaysaa.
Wallahi, niyo su'aash weydiisan su'aal waxaa mataqaanaa it's su'aal waxaa mataqaanaa qadiim waan yaho. A lot of people ask themselves, a lot of people with the same and similar culture ask themselves. Somalinimo waxaa weeye sida anigu u fahansanahay, waxaa weeye bulsho isku timaaday ku midoobeen dhaqan ama maaragtay xeer ama maaragtay magac ay rabtaan noqdo ama diin ku midoobeen waxaan ku midownay inaan nahay badankeena xoolo raacato geelay. Waxaan ku midownay luqadda oonan maaragtay kala duwaneen. Waxaan ku midownay raashinka, all the dishes that we have, like oodkaca, laxoox, soorta, ambuulada. Waxaan ku midownay dharka maaragtay fashionka iyo styleka aan u gashano, macawiista ama maryaha markino oo dumarka gashan jireen waayihii hore, dirac markino wareegsan oo inta ka xiran garabka ka xiran. If you've seen any old pictures you will see, you will know. Waxaan ku midownay nidaamka ama styleka iyo aan u dhisano guryaheena aqalka Soomaaliga ama hooriga. Waxyaalahaas oo dhan aan ku midownay. Marka haddii waxaas ku midoodeen, so you have to name it. Who are you? If you follow all those stuff, how do we name ourselves? How do we define ourselves? The Somali baan nahay. Somali ayaan nahay. Marka waxaa waaye aniga sidaas waxaan taqaanaa aan u aqoonsanahay Soomaalinimada. Haddadan laakiin generationka hadda socdo oo jiro dhaqankaas waxaa u maleysaa 50% in laga tagay. Aqal hooriyaa degan, yaa saaxdo, yaa geel raaco, duurka joogo, yaa macawiis iyo maaragtay afroogii sidii nidaamkii hore yaa u labisto. Yaa maaragtay Somaligeena hataa yaa si fasiix ugu hadlo. After 2 sentences we mix up with other language, whether it's English, Swahili, or Arabic, or like, you know, German, whatever it is. Marka waxa waaye, you can change how you define yourself as long as you have some people that has the similar way how you view the world. It doesn't matter whether you call yourself Somali, it doesn't matter whether you call yourself maaragtay qabiilka magaciisa ama Somali Bantu. Okay, you see the Somali Bantus, yeah? The reason why they call themselves Somali Bantus is because ethnically, originally waxay ka imaadeen waa Bantu. Bantu is the biggest tribe in Africa.
So total salam qarban doonta walaalkay Zantino ni macallimo aad you get me the link walaalo is in the chat, follow the description kusabo furthermore ninkan madaxda linkan doonta u saadiro first time meeshu nagu soo dhawaaday you can follow the link hadhoona kamarada iska baqtay you involved go ahead xirsi ku dhufanaadero kusido
dadka la yiraahdo Somali Bantu waxa waaye asalkooda waxay ahaayeen Bantu waa Swahili ama maaragtay Kikuyu ama maaragtay dadkan kale adiga markino oo Kenyatiga ah ama Ugandeska ama Rwandaha iyo Congo iyo meelahaas ka imaada Bantu la yiraahdaa. Somali waxay markay yimaadeen waxa lagu keenay kolley waxaan taqaana boqortooyadii Zanzibar nimankan Omaaniyiinta ayaa waxaan taqaanaa iyo Talyaaniga iyo boqortooyadii hore oo markan Kismaayo iyo Muqdisho iyo markii iyo Baraawe meelahaas ka jireen ayaa waxaan taqaanaa there was a slave trade basically ajiri waxaas baa jiray. Marka dadkii ilmihii meesha waxaan taqaanaa ku faracmay dhaqankii waxay qaateen Soomaalida. Ay ka geel raacata ma aha, aqal hoori ma degaan, macawis waxaas maaragtay afro iyo waxa sida nidaamkaas maaragtay dhaqankooda sidaas ma luqadooda Somali waaye, laakiin Soomaaliga rasmiga ah lagu hadlaa ma Somali maay waaye, waliba maay Swahili ku jiro waaye. Marka Somali Bantu sidaas isku bixiyeen moogi waxa waa dhulkii degnaayeen laakiin ethnically ma ahan maaragtay dad oo native ku ah Soomaaliya ma aha eeka. But they lived there for generations, like let's say maybe 200 years or 300 years, but they're not natively Somali.
That you know what and you know Hirsi knew even today imaka dood weyn baa lagu jiray maanta here qaar baa kula caynka waligeen baa dingneen baa it's like zero saying, you know, zero walaalkeen waa nin ciise oo reer Djibouti garanaysa walaa waqooyiga xagiisa u shisheeyay deged nimankan iyo waxaan oo kale hada maqo nin walaal waan la yaabnay cid walba Somali in the south cid walba baaki wala soo dhaweysta waa anagi le sheekadaas aan ugu wateen. So isn't this ayandoro because imka ayando waxa la isku haysan doono what is the original Somali. You're going to start seeing him because qaar baa jira history cusub la imid oo kale Somali maybe ajuraan wala mudad madow baa hayn kan. Do you understand where I'm coming from? So this is really scary. This narrative is being pushed walalo. And I think it's to give these walaliyal, you know, you say some I see it happening walalo. So this is why some of us in the north question this whole term. What is Somali no another?
So how is Somali?
Swash asal Sweden soddonkii sano u dambeysay wala xisi ma bala arag. Anigu labadan waxa laga yaabaa maman dareemo waxaan leeyahay Soomaalinimada. Ma fahamtay?
Well, I think it's because, you know, we didn't have a government that could keep the culture and library ama professoro ama dad oo maaragtay lumu waaweyno dhaqankii iyo luqadii literature. Do you see, have you ever even heard a Somali literature course in any university, whether it's Kenya, Somalia, other outside country of Somalia? Have you ever heard of it? Somali literature, or markino Jamaat Bareso Somali literature, students Bareso Somali literature. So the first thing, what defines is your language. Hadii language kii la qorin, la baraynin, la kala safeynaynin, and waxa dhumay markaas qof walba sheegan karo, qof walba ayaa waxa anyone can come into your culture and amend it, basically can change it. they can add any other new words from other countries or other culture
That's
and
what's
say like,
happening.
okay, from
Guess
now
what's
on, this is
happening?
Somalia.
Hirsi, guess what happened the other day? This is one of the reasons that the first time I got, reported and kicked off Clubhouse, in it, yeah? Because we highlighted me and a couple of, well, mashallah, brothers and sisters that are on my sort of mission, in it, yeah? Highlighted that our language is 35% is going to be taken over, and there's a lot of your words we're dropping out. We're replacing them with Arabic and other languages. So maybe we're kind of scared the language might be declined, but you never know. So that's a whole nother aspect. I've never thought that preserving the language as well, because it might be on a decline. Because
Yeah, it
majority
is.
of words is getting, and then a lot of people are bored. There's even some shayukh in Somalia and Somaliland saying we should change the language to Arabic. So we've got another issue there. But I like to just big up and welcome a Somali speakers legend, family.
Salam alaikum.
Alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sada, whoa, yartani, inantani, Aya's
Where did
favorite
you
daughter.
go, Khalid? Where did you go?
We need to talk about that. Sheikh, but I'm back. And we're back on fire. And again, tomorrow on Saturday evening, please tune in, guys. 8:30. We've got Saucy Drip. Go on Instagram. The guy's been talking to me. It's a young Somali fashion designer. And he's pushing his brand. I just met him as well. So I've been out here trying to scout for some powerful speakers. But we're back, baby. We're back.
Good.
Something bugged you. I know W, when she comes on the stage, something bugged her.
Something bugged me because you're talking about Somali Nima, and then you have somebody 10 minutes before that, 30 minutes before that, talking about we're going to evict these people and we're going to get rid of these people. Somali Mariole, whatever you want to call them. That just does not make any sense to me. Y'all want to talk about Somali Nima, but you hate your fellow Somalis based on tribe. And then you guys want to be like, we're all Muslim, we're all Somali, Somali Nima wa wahani wahan, Somali Nima wahli yirahda hadda ma jirto. I'm going to be very honest with you. The hatred that Somalis have for each other, being like, I'm from this, wahan ban ana iskale, wahani wahan, and then you want to be like, well, we're all Somali, and then unite on the hatred of Somali Bantus. Personally, I don't have a problem with Somali Bantus. Wadad masakina, wadad muslim afkane barten, they're marginalized. Do you know what I'm saying? They don't just live in the south. They also live in other regions in Somalia because they're IDPs, they're displaced people. They're also they're in, even though you said no, they're not in the north, they're in Puntland. They're in small numbers, but they're in Puntland because it's peaceful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
and the thing about Somali Nima is if you're going to define Somali Nima, you need to follow Somali Nima. You cannot just define Somali Nima and say, let's all be united while you say you hate other Somalis, or
we don't even know what it is.
You're not from here, and you're not this, and you're not that. And respectfully to the Djiboutian brother, Djibouti has a bunch of other ethnicities too. You guys have a mishmash of cultures too, so you can relate to the South, especially with the different.
Yeah, but nobody claims to be Somali over there. Everyone, the Afar and Somali claim Afar and Somali. They don't just switch around.
You cannot claim Somali.
But what they can claim,
but
sis, what they can claim is everyone's a Djiboutiawi.
Thank you. But it's not in the name.
But it's
not in the name. Anaga, the problem with us is it's Somalia. So if you're Somali and you're from
Make
Somalia,
it Somalian.
Why?
Because it's a nationality, not a whole ethnicity.
Second of all, you're overestimating the amount of minorities we have in the South. They're not that big in number. They're really not that big in number. I don't think any of you guys have actually visited the South, been to the South, because there's not that many people. Second of all, the way that they got there is it's known as the Swahili Coast, okay? Mogadishu, Merka, Barawe, Kismayo. There was a lot of trade going on there. You know what I'm saying? So even them, they're mixed. They're mixed with different people, Hindi, Persian, Omani, Bantu. You know what I'm saying? They speak different dialects. They speak different languages. So it's going to be difficult. You know what I'm saying? If you speak a totally different, then you have Somalis that are ethnic Somalis that speak Afmai. How many of you can speak Afmai? Not that many. You know what I'm saying? Not that many.
Okay.
And they're ethnically Somali. So when you talk about Somali, Somali identity, are you talking about Afmai Are you talking about
What did Max
Mahatiri?
say? She took what I said literally. How else are we supposed to take what you say?
Exactly. How else are we supposed
How
to take
else?
it? You said we're gonna get trucks and we can get rid of all these people, and then 2 seconds later you're talking about like Somali Nima. Brother, I'm not
The
here to like
hypocrisy.
say, I'm not here to say, but Kay, this is a problem you pointed out before too.
Mhm.
You know, marna male, marna ges, marna look, marna. You know what I'm saying? Like, let's just all be honest with each other. Somali Nima is an idea. It doesn't really exist.
صح واي.
ويسنعبيهين Somalida. والله ويسنعبيه. سيدا يسنعبيهين هدان أنا ما تيراهدو. I'm from this place. They're gonna be like, what قبيلة are you? You can't claim it. I thought we were all Somali. What happened to that? It doesn't make any sense.
marka yaa waay asal Soomaaliya ah qabiilkee asal Soomaali ah
horta haddaan ka hadalno asal Soomaali haddaan ka hadalno right haddaan idhaahno kuwan Somali Bantu Somali ma ahan why are Darod people claiming they came from Sheikh Darod who came from Yemen? Why is Sheikh Ashaq claiming they came from Iraq? But you want to tell other people that they're not Somali. We need to get our story straight. Are we Somali or are we from some Arab country and we mix with the Somali people? I think the only ones that don't do that are the Dir. And I think
exactly, they're the authentic Somalis. That's why they never ever claim other people. They say like,
if you speak to your grandparents, if you speak to some people are not fortunate enough to speak to their grandparents, but if you speak to your grandparents, they always refer to Dir. I think they're probably maybe the original Somalis. I don't know, but they don't seem to have these like stories of I came from Arabia and I migrated to Somalia, and this is a Somali identity.
So cool. I've spoken to some of them. And they always claim like aniga dirba waxaan taqaana ka imaaday Gatsan like you know these dir like people that they moved to Ethiopia now so waxay degan
yihiin ma laakiin dir meel walbay degan yihiin hataa southkay degan yihiin. You know what I'm saying? They live in the south, they live in the center, they live in Puntland, they live in Somaliland, they live in Djibouti, they live in Kinikashanad, they live in
but they're not always
they
don't boast about it, they don't show off, they don't boast about it, they don't fight like you know the other Somalis on Qabil, they don't like you know even run after kursi iyo politics waxaas kuma jiraan. I think Somali they're like you know just normal, very low key, like they know the meaning of Somali and they're sticking to it.
Yeah, because the thing about it is when you talk about 35%, I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't think it's that high, but I think the problem is we've strayed too much from the original language, that like we just like borrowed too much, which came with trade. You know what I'm saying? We had our own words for everything, but when you start becoming more as a society, we're becoming more globalized, we're gonna start using more and more words. Like, you know what I'm saying? That is not in our language, unfortunately. And the people back home are making it worse. I don't know if you guys see them on TikTok, but they're making it worse. Wait, Washin. Like, for real.
Yeah, arki, nimankan markano codka leh, like, you know, these influences. They political, they marka wax badankooda. Waxa u malaysaa laba kalma kadib waxa mtaqaanaa laba kalma kadib xaraf ajaniba waxa mtaqaanaa saxeynaya. Like he cannot finish, the person cannot finish a whole sentence with pure Somali words. Like waxa arkay dad badan aan ka arkay. Marka waa aniga marmarha af Soomaaliga way dhibaa. Soomaaligii kaamil ma ahan because wiligii iskool Soomaali ma aadin mana barnin hooyadii aabaheen waxaa mtaqaanaa si fiican maan ugu barnin waxaan laga yaabaa dad badan taas ila qabo keligii kuma ihi laakiin Soomaaliga waa luqad qani ah waa buuxa after Arabic Carabiga kadib Quraanka luqadda ku xigo Carabiga kadib Quraanka waxa lagu fasiri karaa oo fasih lagu fasiri karaa Soomaaliga waa maxaa yeelay Urduga ma ahan Pashto ma ahan nimankan Farisiinta ma ahan Ethiopian ma ahan laakiin Soomaaliga waa maxaa yeelay Soomaaliga qani waa they have so many words that can describe something. They can even name one thing, but they can name it with so many different names. Like hal shay waxa laga yaabaa 10 magac uu leeyahay. When you see that, that's a very, very sophisticated language. Laakiin maanan qorin iskoolaadkan ma lagu baro jaamacadahan ma lagu baro.
dhibaatadana haysata waxa weeyaan like waxaa jiro like Sugan, which is literature. Laakiin we did not, Somalia made a mistake you know what I'm saying, in not forming a proper written language. I think Latin script really screwed us over. If we had an actual like written script, whether it was Borma script or Walad script or whatever it is, that would have like made it way better, because then you could have formalized it easier. If we had an actual education system in Somalia,
do you guys
it
know
would
how to
help.
write Somali? Does people like, okay, try this experiment, yeah? Write your thought like Somali thoughts, yeah. Ama luqadaada waxaa ku qortaa Latin words, and let's say one sentence waxaa ku qortay in Latin words, and then the same sentence waxaa ku qortay in Arabic letters. Which one completes it? Like every letter oo afkaaga carabkaaga sheegayo, which one completes it? Like in the Latin words, ma haysano, and da ma haysano, xarfo badan, ereyo badan, xarfo badan ka maqan. Laakiin Carabiga waxa u maleysaa in Soomaaliga loogu talagalay in far Carabi lagu qoro.
Like if we did, I feel like maybe that would have helped, because then that would be more easy, like because you're learning Hingad, right? And then like you're already learning Quran, and then if it's using the same script and then you use the same script for your, like, you know what I'm saying, your native language and Arabic, it would be easier, you know. Yeah, for sure.
Let's say today Somalia, let's say 100% ciyaalkoo dhan waxa waaye dugsiye, wax meesha ugu horeysa waxbarashadu aadan waa dugsiga. waxaa la baraa farta Carabiga la baraa, waxaa la baraa Hingaada la baraa. haddii maanta la yiraahdo wixii maanta ka dambeeya luqadda Soomaaliga waxaa lagu qorayaa Soomaali, xarafta Carabiga lagu qorayaa. Every kid, no one is illiterate markaas, you know that. No one is illiterate. Qof walba wixii maskaxdiisa ku jiro warqad buu ku qori karaa.
Can I say something? Hirsi and WM, yeah? You know me personally, I hate Siabar over passion. But sometimes you have to, you know, give credit where credit's due, innit, yeah? You see the literacy rate of our people? It went sky high within like from this to about boom. Do you get where I'm coming from? There was a kid the other day, yeah, you could see him, you could Google him, he went from the Badia, he was like a Remy kid, all the way to Harvard within about 6-7 years in the country. So the ta'aleem, I'm not gonna lie to you, but the problem is of Somali on a decrease. This is the problem. I had a massive debate about this. I even got kicked off Clubhouse for this. I said Somali before Arabic.
Yeah, but the problem is, let's be honest, Kay, people that are Gen Z of Somali of Somali at all. And then they think if you can speak in 3 sentences in Somali, they think you're some type of old person. Like they're finished. Wallahi, they're finished.
They're finished. They are.
They're finished. So they wouldn't even be able to decipher, you know what I'm saying? Anything. And I think the problem is, it's not that Somali is decreasing, it's that, I'm so sorry, I got to put the blame on the parents. The parents don't even see the importance of Somali. They think Somali is low, and they think English or these other languages is more il-bah. Let me speak English. Let me speak English. English is better for me. People will think I'm
But that's
educated.
number
People
one.
think I'm smart.
I'm saying back home as well. No, I'm saying in our main language as well, because there's about, they say it's about 20% now, but it's going to be 30% sooner or later. Majority of our language words are going to be replaced. Does that make sense?
Yeah,
you know how much words are replaced with Arabic? Do you know how much words? Yeah, WM and I'm sorry, Hirsi, original and chaos here. Original Somali words are being replaced. You can find them in off Somali kalimatin, but of Arabic or English. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
That's something scary as well. You know.
Do you know we have about, if we estimate here, we have about, let's say, we have about 50 years. We have about 50 years maximum, 50 years to write down the Somali and literacy. Odayaasha inaan ka aruurino tuulooyinka la aado, la qoro, suugaanta, geeraarta, mahmaahyada, wixii oo dhan iyadoo Soomaaliyaysan la qoro. Maxaa yeelay suugaanta waxaa ku jirto xarafyadii asalka ahaa waxaa ku jiro.
Yes.
xarafyadii asalka ahaa. So we have about 50 years. After 50 years, that's it. The next generation, ilmaha awowga u nahnay, af Soomaali waxay ku hadlayaan oo jibris mix.
You won't even realize.
waxaa laga yaabaa ilmaha awowga aad maaragtay ilmaha awowga u tahay inaadan isfahmi karin.
Yeah, but that could have been
That's
said
already
when,
happening now.
Italy. You know, when Italy was ruling Somalia
Yeah.
for the past 80 years, we could have said people use the same argument. We got a lot of Italian words in Somali now.
Yeah, a lot of English words, a lot of Arabic.
Yeah, but let's be honest, with the Italian influence, it's only if you literally were from like Magalada. A red Badia person that's not from Magalada is not going to use Italian words. They're not going to say shit like
Those
Sticchino.
they use Italian words, man.
No, they don't. No, they don't.
They do,
I can
man.
guarantee that.
I went
No,
there,
they
man.
do not. No, they do not. Somebody who is literally not from one of these Red Magal cities, a Red Badia person speaks pure Somali. I don't care what dialect they speak. They speak pure Somali. They don't go to the city. They're not a city dweller.
I went
They're
there.
not an urban
I was in
dweller.
Badia
Where
4
Badia?
or 5
Where?
years ago. I went to Galmudug, somewhere in Galmudug. I was in Badia.
Okay,
middle of
Galmudug is
nowhere.
not the south. I was
It's
not
still
influenced
the
by
south.
Italians.
Galmudug is the south, isn't it?
dhibka jira waxay tahay dadkii reer miyiga ahaayeen waxay kusoo qulqulayaan magaaladay kusoo qulqulayaan magaalada dhaldhalaalkay arkaan geeli baadiyi jiray xaraashaan markaas magaalada soo galayaan and then in 6 years 5 years 10 years maybe maximum waa isbedeleen luqadii waa ka tageen daraan ingiriis
Yeah, but
magaalnimadiya
that's the ones who so gala Magalada kuwa jogo, you know what I'm saying? Badio and an Iman Magalada are obviously not going to talk like that.
No,
that's
they
the
come.
problem.
They come to Magalada.
They're not going to
even
know
come
what
to Magalada.
Istikin means. They're not going to know what Chiaro means. They're not going to know what any of those
man.
I
Italian
believe
terms.
WM's right. Shall I tell you why? Shall I tell you why? Yeah. Shall I tell you why? Of Somali asirka remiga laga hela, and these men don't use none of these. Yeah, I see. I see where WM is coming from. They won't use them type of words. There's a lot of
I'm
words.
telling you, Kay, I'm telling you, when I talk to other people and I add Italian words, I'll say borobio, and I don't know that I forget it's Italian, but it's
borobio,
bello, bello, bravo, stecchino, chiaro. Come on, they don't know what that is. They don't know what that is.
Yeah, they even speak in English, man. Because I saw some girls and they said, "Oh my god, this was like, I don't know, 9
they
years
speak
ago."
English?
Yeah, they start using
English.
English
You're
words
fooling
now.
now.
I said, "Well, who taught you? Oh my god, they just know."
Do you guys think? Do you guys think one thing? waxaan rabaa su'aal inaan weydiiyo qof ama nation ama bulsho markino oo poetic ma philosopher ma yihiin badankooda mise waxaa mataqaanaa luqadooda unbay ay perfection kusoo biyeen
I mean, doesn't it take like somebody to like, you know what I'm saying? I would definitely say they are a philosopher. I definitely would. Because
don't you think that's a notice that we're losing it if you don't write it down?
We are losing it because just 100 years ago, you guys can have an issue with like the Sayyid or whatever. You know, what he did was a lot of stuff that he did was wrong. But at the same time, his command of the language and his philosophies were something else. You know what I'm saying? And we're losing that.
Mm-hmm.
We're losing that. The way that he used to write Gabayasha, we're losing it. Like, Somalis don't speak like that anymore. Majority of Somalis. I don't care even if you're from the north. Okay, how many people can command the Somali language like that and speak with such, eloquence? They don't want to talk like that. They see like this little, way of like shortening words. They see it as like ilbah. They see the slang as ilbah. You know what I'm saying? So they want to stray from that. I don't know why. It's like they're running away from it, which is not like obviously is not a good thing.
waxaan arkay waxaan isku barbar dhigay okay waxaan rabaa inaan weydiiyo su'aal meeqa xibnood oo jirkaaga ku yaala ayaad Soomaali ku sheegi kartaa compared to English?
Say that again.
meeqa xibnood jirkaaga all the parts of your body xibnaa lahaa limbs xibnaa lahaa meeqa xibnood xibno jirkaada ka mid Soomaali ku magacayn kartaa compared to English?
Isa gacmaheeya, cagaheeya, maskaxda.
xibnaheen waa badan yahay maogtay ilaa waxaa waaye ilaa dhuuxa ilaa lafta ilaa kalxanta beerta
Are you talking about organs too?
Every part of your body, how many can you name it in Somali? Compare that to English. Or even other languages like the Francis, Somali, Francis, Italiani, Kenya, Tubi, meeqa waxa aan fasiri karnaa Soomaali ahaan ku sheegi karnaa meeqaana waxaan taqaanaa luqado kale ku fasiri karnaa?
That's a good question. Obviously, for most of us, at least me and Kay, it's going to be more English because that's our native. Like, as much as we deny it, Kay, English is our native language. We have a better command of English. We've been speaking English since we were babies, so I'm not going to deny that.
We're that generation that had to go learn Somali.
Yeah, we
had to
learn
to speak Somali.
Yeah. Yeah. But we're still good.
One guy wants to come on, Zantino, if he's listening. Zantino, what you have to do, look. This is what I'm saying. He's saying, I don't know how to use YouTube. This is the link, Walalo. What the fuck? Please, if you're watching, let me know. You just message me. This is the link, Kudofo, and follow the instructions because he's already got an account.
Yeah,
he just said hello to me. Yeah, he just has to click it. So let me answer. I'll just say, press the link. Actually, wait. I know what to do. Furthermore, this will be easy for him if I just copy the link, send it to myself. Now, carry on, guys. Now, Somali guy, even us generation. I'm not going to lie to you, yeah? The Somali language, I feel like it's going to be on the decline. I feel it's on the decline.
The thing that scares me also, Kay, is, somebody said the older generation is tribalist, the younger generation isn't. What has what book your ban? What book your ban? First of all, I'm going to tell you right now, what kills me is whether you're grown, whether you're young, I don't care how old you are. If you don't know Somali, you have no business talking about Qabil. Afkina Barta, Luqadina Barta. It's embarrassing for you to be like, I'm from here, I'm from there, this is my land, but you can't speak the language. You know what I'm saying? And the younger generation, they're very lost. Like very, very, very lost. And that's another reason that it's declining. They don't see the importance. And then they just add ka, instead of miska, they'll be like table ka. Table ka.
Bahalka.
Instead of bahalka, ged.
There's so many objects, that we named Bahalka. We don't know the name, but we can say Bahalka.
No, but we say, like my dad says, gedka for everything, and gedka could mean anything, you know what I'm saying?
No, Allah, you know what, yeah. Like I said to you, I live in an area, it's a mixed area, but majority was Safi. Ask my boy Maxi, when these guys say gedka isaqabo. I used to get pissed off. I used to be like, what, a tree? I'll be like, Meloban egg, yeah. Where's the gate?
No,
is it the
like
tree?
Anything.
You want me to grab a tree?
I know what it means, but I don't realize that that's just like, and it literally can like mean anything. But then you hear like people saying "ka" at the end of everything. Like, how hard is it for you to say miska? Why do you have to say table ka?
One more thing. And حرف waxaa jirta oo Somali laakiin la rabo in la Ingiriiseeyo ama la ajaanibeeyo ama waxaa jirta xarfo markino oo ajaanib laakiin la rabo in la Soomaaliyeeyo like waxaa kamid and grace, like when they end every letter or every word with grace.
Do you know Basaga lay? Assalamu alaikum wala Zantino.
The 19K idea that mustn't bro. This
welcome to yes. Hello.
Horta ugu faraxsana ina soo martiqaado.
Yes, well, kusado aad.
Listening to you guys and waa dhegeysanaya and waxa idin sheegaya waxay tahay Somali in the summertime. I live in the US currently. So waxa
macalinka codkaaga go'ay.
Codka yara go'aya macalinka connection ka.
Open your mic. Yeah.
I think he needs to open his mic. Mic yara fur. عيدوا صار نقنع.
صار نقنع هذا عدك حماضي.
نوون كم قلنا. عادي يوم كم قلنا.
يا بس وحيتها Somalia.
I think his microphone. Headset كسك بدل.
Headset كسك بدل. Okay. Is it better now?
Much better. ستوصة.
صفي عنه وناس.
ستوصة. Okay ما شاء الله ما سنتين أبو ما تجيب ساوحتها الدولة الصومالية وحال يقول they get paid by the Middle Eastern countries the Saudi Arabia to لغة عربية إن كر لقاضو ما فاهمينه and that's what they did they get to work so دولة الصومالية مقدسة كجرتو وحي سميسا دخلية كسوق العربها waxa ugu weyn lagu mataqaana barnaamijyo mar walba waxa waaye اللغة العربية جامعة العرب كمتين mataqaanaa okay go on you know iskuulaadka waa lagu dhigaa ingiriisi carabi labaduba waa lagu dhigaa iyo wax walba laakiin soomaali dhan laguma dhigo iskuulaadka runada idii sheego that's the reality ma fahmino so Somali language itself waxba maba ka ahbo dalkii okay English iyo hadartaana carabi marka the majority of the people waxay taageen ma anaga English arabnaa dawladda Soomaaliland waxay leedahay ma carabi in lagu hadlo why xamar waxa ka bax broadcast live Soomaaliga markuu ka baxo another channels oo af carabi live si toos ma arkano in vivo live uga baxaya jiro you know a lot of channels to one you two man why my brothers
صح
ha marka anaga hadda waxaan ka hadlaynaa saving the language war wadanka dhamaaba dawladiiba Soomaali macnaha waa jiraan maktabado meelo jaamacada antiga waa jiraan waxyaalo badan aan soo arkay waa jiraan oo dawladda Soomaali dadaal ay ku jirto luqadda Soomaali ma dhahay ani they not doing nothing at all ma dhahay okay but it's supposed to be luqadda Soomaaliga inay noqoto ay dhahaan okay let's advocate for something else laakiin waxaad moodaa ayagiyaabo luqadii iloobeebo qof xildhibaana oo Soomaali ah oo Muqdisho joogo when they are talking hal sida hadda yarka sheegayo laba eray markuu dhahaba eray Soomaali ama eray English ama eray Maxaariga waxba u gelinayo you know so aniga waa ijidin hadda tan aniga xataa luqadeedii tam ma aha waa isku day Soomaali inaan si toos ugu hadlo waxba soo dhaxgeliyaa marka luqadda waxa hadda ay ka hadlaysan wallahi wax fiican waaye ciwaanka meeshana tension markano Galmudug I don't know taas waxa dhacay ma ogi
لا واحد بالكهر بيدعده you know برجي السنة الجمعة ملها سكوير كعسنين but you know because الشوغن إن بدن براتشيه ولا الله قام قلمودك باينو برجع شوغن وقو قبتوا كسله خالد وعن كلي وكوني وضع please وانا كان so ونكسي ودنا and that's it by it was I supposed to do this 2 months ago but I was just late سنون delay كري إيه مكان حلالي ما فهمت ولا لا
صح marka da idin dhameeyo waxa aan soo arkaa waxay tahay Soomaaliyaba in Somalia in Muqdisho you know everywhere is English iyo Arabi dawladda Soomaaliyana waxa ay ku taagan tahay waa luqadda Arabiga iyo dhaqanka Arabi mataqaana Carabta there's nothing wrong with that anaga muslimiina nahay ma ka soo horjeeday but I'm just telling you the reality oo meesha ka jirta Soomaaliya everybody was speaking English qof walba hey you from America yeah let's have a conversation English caadi ugu wada hadlana ayaga dhan kulligood marka we have a long way to go man I don't know luqadda si loo badbaadin doono marka thank you guys
what do you guys think Hirsi KS maxay la tahay
wallahi sheegay sax waaniyo wuxuu ka hadlay sax waay
you guys I'm coming back give me 2 minutes in here KS Antino Hirsi mashi hay wala
okay I think it's because you know one thing waxa jiro and adduunka dhan ay ka jirtaa idaacadaha inay marka luqad kale ama luqado kale ay ku hadlaan hadda kooga hore Soomaali waay saacadaha ku xigo waxa mutaqaana waxa laga yaabaa ajaanib ama dawlado kale ayaa waxay ka leeyihiin dana waxay ka leeyihiin ama mashruucyo waxa ugu furan Soomaali ugu furan marka Soomaali haday garanaynin waa in luqadoodii wax loogu sheegaa idaacada let's say SNTV maanta saddex luqad afar Somali my Arabi Ingiriisi Arabi markay ku hadlayso saacadaha ma ahan ay Soomaalida ay dhageystaan ma ahan saacado waxa waa mutaqaana oo sidii America oo kale Somali markay maalin u tahay America habeen u tahay Somali markay habeen u tahayna America maalin u tahay marka waxa laga yaabaa saacado dambe oo Somali in af Ingiriis ku hadlaano idaacadahooda so that the American people can watch and understand what's going on in Somalia Arabigana sidaas oo kale laakiin adduunka dhan ay ka jirtaa laakiin saacadaha ay Soomaalida shaqeystaan from 7 to 7 in the morning until 7 in the evening ay Somali markay soo wada jeedaan oo shaqeeyaan until 9 o'clock ka taade idaacadaha Soomaaliya luqad Soomaaliya ku fasiraan ay ku sheegaan ama my ku sheegaan my laazim waa in lagu hadlo maxaa yeelay nearly 20% amala waxa waa mutaqaana ku hadasho afka my-ga marka iyakan waxaa mataqaanaa luqadoodana maaragtay in lagu hadlo cadda qaranka ilan qaranka waxay matalaan soomaalida oo dhan ay matalaan waxay kaloo matalaan wixii dalka soomaaliya inta ethnicity-ga degan dhulkaas soomaaliya inta degan ethnicity walba oo degan ayay matashaa qaranka dowladda marka inay dhinac walba wax ka fiiriso waaye laakiin iskoolaadka soomaaliya in isku baro waaye ilaa jaamacad markin la gaaro waxaa fiicnaan lahayd maaragtay casharada markin oo cilmiga sidii oo loo dastuurka soomaaliya oo kale laisku baro so that there is so many lawyers in laisku baro maaragtay cilmiga oo cilmi nafsiga xataa psychology therapy waxaas haday tahay soomaali laisku baro waxay kaloo u baahan tahay cilmiga markin oo medicine ama caafimaadka waxyaalahaas soomaali laisku baro oo lagu bixiyo casharada laakiin wixii o dhan waxaa waaye jaamacadaha soomaaliya haddaa fiiriso coursaskooda wax xadidan yahay ma badno IT business administration engineering maxaa kale dhakhtar medicine waxaas waxaa maleyna ma badna hataa it's very limited wallahi billah they don't teach like the Somali other knowledge soomaalida knowledgekeeda ma baran luqadda literaturekeeda suugaanta waxyaalahaas waxaa waaye cilmi yar ma ahan wax markin school isku baro u baahan ma ahan high school primary school ma aha it's meant to be learned in university but we don't see it I hope we see a group that's very determined to write down all the suugan that goes to every tuulo oo aruuriyo suugaanto dhan aruuriyo luqadaha markino iyo geeraaraha iyo mahmaahyada iyo waxyaalahaasoo dhan aruuriyo oo cashiro camal ka dhigo jaamacaddan waxaa mataqaanaa jaamacadaha qaranka ee soomaalida ayna markin ka bilaabaan cashiradaas waa jeclaan lahaa in arko wallahi haddaan arko ilaahu 50 sano mee 100 sano haddaan jiro hataa waa aada waa barnaa diyaara waa maxaa yeele soomaaligayga hataa taam ma ahan what do you guys think like what do you guys think of
what think of your ideas
yeah idea
Anio, if it was up to me, I'll have Somali as the main language and English as Somali's second language. You know?
Okay.
I say this because English is international language. If the Somalis people also speak English as their second language, it'll give them more opportunities and will connect them to the global world.
Okay. Okay.
They can work in any country. That means if a Somali person is qualified as a doctor or as a nurse, that means they can take their skills to Haladaha. They can work in America as a nurse. They can work in the UK.
There might be a knowledge that only Somali people have and can only be learned in Somali. If we miss that, the whole humanity might lose a whole knowledge that can make them go forward.
So here's it. How many people speak Somali? I think there's like 40 million. Huh?
40 million max. 40 million.
40 Somali. So there's no way the Somali language is dying. It's impossible. Even here in the UK.
Okay then, but why is it the influences
are using Somali words?
Yeah, okay, why is it that the influences, the people that can change things, the people that has the power, the people that have voice, the people that a lot of people are listening to or want to as a role model ahaan loo arko maxay Soomaaliga iskaga ilaaliyaan inay ku hadlaan?
Because in Somalia, if someone wants to have a good job, they're supposed to know English. You know,
that's the problem. That's a
people
problem.
run away from it. People want to speak English, to be seen educated. So knowing Somali is not going to give you a good job, is it? No,
well, it might, man. It might, because you never know. Okay, that can Kenya. Amal hadafi receipt Swahiliga, and it became a solution for them because there's 47 different ethnicity living in Kenya. But never see all of them fighting over tribalism. You ask someone who's from Julu, ama maaragtay kuwan oo Embu ama kuwan Swahili ama Kikuyu waxaas kulli waxay ku leeyihiin zahaw aniga waxaan ahay Kenyaati ama Kenyan. The solution that brought them together was the Swahili language, but it's not because of their culture, but it's the language that brought them together.
Yes, that's a good point. Yeah. That's a good point. I won't deny that. But you have to understand, even in Kenya, most Kenyans they speak English. You can talk to them in English. I've been to Kenya many times. I don't even need to learn Swahili. Everyone knows English.
maxaa yeelay iika waa very small ethnic-ooda ma badno waxaa laga yaabaa hal ethniga waxaa laga yaabaa mataqaan hadday u badato maybe even 5 million ma gaarayaan. One ethnic with a different language.
Oh, in Kenya.
Kenya.
In Kenya, you got
badan Kikuyu waaye. Kikuyu waxay ku hadashaa mataqaana Atrere ku hadashaa luqadeeda oo gaar ku ah Atrere ku hadlaan laakiin it's not that influenced and they're the dominant tribe waaye laakiin saasay tahay ma gaaraan 5 million hadday u badato waxaa laga yaabaa 7 million inay gaaraan.
This also, that also proves that the Somali language is strong. You've got 40 million people, all speak Somali. They don't speak Swahili. They don't speak, English. They don't speak Arabic. If you go to Somalia and you try to use just Arabic, it's not going to help you. No one knows Arabic in Somalia. Only educated people go outside the cities and try using Arabic. People will be confused.
No one will understand you.
I don't understand you. You have to know Somali. Even the Somalis who return back to Somalia or Somaliland or Djibouti.
Hey, what's that background noise, man? Hirsi, you got some mad background noise.
How about now?
Yeah, it's alright when you're speaking. Yeah.
Even the Somalis.
Is it your headsets? Is it your headsets?
No, I put the microphone somewhere like on a table or something.
Yeah, you need to.
Even the Somalis who return back to, the fish and chip Somalis who go back to Somalia.
Are you listening to it on YouTube or something?
Who, me?
Yeah.
My.
Yeah.
You're gone. Hirsi, speak now. No, it's you, man. You got this little weird. Come in and come back out.
How's it now?
You're gone.
Oh, you still. Is it clear? Is it calm?
It's got this. Can you, Chaos? Can you hear that? Oh, sweet.
Let me come back then.
Come in, come back out. Yeah.
I could not hear it.
You can't hear it on your side.
It was alright to me. I couldn't hear anything.
Yeah. Oh, it's mad. For sure.
Yeah. So.
Hello. Yeah.
Hello. عادي ومو.
Yeah. It seems alright.
مركني سؤال ultimate سؤال was what is Somali Nimo?
Sorry, who's this S guy? S. Assalamu alaikum. Hello. S. Wait, bastard. Done. Hey, what? Hello. Yeah, Hirsi, much better.
Okay.
Yes, much better. Now you're crystal clear. That's a mad good. Maybe
so the ultimate.
Go ahead.
So the ultimate question was, even though we had different answers, was what is Somali Nimo?
Yes. That was a question and a half. Ethiopia will soon have access to Somali ports. What do you guys think of this? That's crazy.
Someone wrote something. Oh, we got an Ethiopian brother. Welcome. We got an Ethiopian brother. Ethiopia will soon have access to Somali ports. Is it in a good way or a bad way? Is it in trade or is it by or other means?
That's what I'm saying.
Get the mic. Come and join us, bro, man.
حبشير مركز نقد
Jenny,
دوني.
come and join us and contribute.
عفارت نعدي زيرو عفارت ونعي.
No. I like Anfar. I don't like Habashi.
استغفر الله أنا قدام man.
Obviously, there's good and bad people, man.
My.
Can't generalize man.
Can't generalize. Yeah.
Habashi that.
They are neighbors, man.
No, أنا نفتيرا نعربه.
هذيك النيو الصومالي حبش عملوا ييرو يا صاحبي زيرو.
أني?
Your Somali sounds more like someone who's not native to Somali.
No. رجوتي بقى كسوجر.
Zero is from Djibouti.
So okay, رجبوتك سوجر. Okay, مركم جيبوتيان أفرماتي.
ما عيسى أعوذ بالله. No.
Why does your Somali sound like?
أفكر إيه ما كسوي له يا أبا.
Okay, ما ضلك هذا جوكته مس ضلك لا جوكته.
ما أنا واحد جورا كندا.
Oh.
Yeah, this guy's fishing chips, man.
ها حكم باكو كوري ما لها شنية 20 سنة رو باكو سعراء.
Okay.
Jenny, come and get the mic, man. Come and join us, bro, man.
That's it, what you? أنا حبشك دي سكاد man.
No, we don't hate Habasha people.
No.
Yeah.
Dude, it's just a personal thing, don't take it personally.
It's
me, it's not you.
The Habash people they are our neighbors.
They're neighbors, yeah.
And waxaa laga yaabaa waxyaalo qaarkood inaan maaragtaa ka midaysannahay isku egnahay mana la kala sheegi karo luqadda un baan ku kala duwannahay
sometimes, you know what I mean? Something funny happened to me. This was like years ago. I was supposed to go to Umrah. So me and my aunt and my sisters, we were in Saudi Arabia, but something happened. I couldn't go to Umrah. So the soldiers, they looked at us, the soldiers in the airport. So these guys, they said we're Habasha. Yeah. Because the Arabs, they all call us Habasha, So I was thinking, I'm not Habasha, I'm Somali. Don't these guys know I'm Somali? So Yenny, this is the problem we have in the Horn of Africa, man. We should be helping each other, man. Not just Somalis, but also our neighbors like Ethiopia, Eritrea. You know what I mean? Sudan. We should be helping each other. We should be fighting, man. If we fight each other, we're gonna be poorer, all of us. But if we work with each other, the same way as other parts of the world are working with each other in terms of improving everyone's livelihoods and economic welfare, everyone's going to benefit.
So I have a question. Do you want to work with them in the war?
No, we're going to work for peace. We're not going to get involved in anyone's war because we don't know what's happening. And I'm not going to lie to you, we also want the Somali region of Ethiopia to have a referendum.
We want them back.
We want them back, yeah.
Wait, no. Let them have their own country.
Or let them have their own country, whatever they want.
Yeah, I don't
How
want
about
all Somalis together.
How about they have their own country, but we have the same, one parliament, one flag.
No.
Have their own
NATO style.
Because Yenny said every Somali I encounter talks to me like I am one of them. Yeah, bro, we're all brothers and sisters.
Yeah, it's
of
just
course.
me.
How many people did I get? Like for me, how many people I come across people like mistaking me for being Ethiopian. I'm Habasha. I'm Hari.
Same here.
And I used to mislead them sometimes because I knew words like some words of Habasha.
Sometimes you can't tell, man. There's some Ethiopians that look like Somali people. You can't tell. So, and even sometimes some Ethiopians come to me and start speaking Ethiopian language to me. And I'm like, can they figure out I'm Somali,
Yo, even Somalis think I'm Ethiopian. I'm Habasha.
I've even seen one guy.
I don't even get that. I get the weird one. I get the weird one called Sri Lankans, bro.
You got what? Someone thought you were Sri Lankan.
Tamil.
Some
I think someone thought I was biracial, man. You know, when I first came to UK, like when I was a kid, they thought I was a mixed race kid.
I said there's 3 type of haboshes.
Huh?
I said there's 3 type of haboshes.
3 types of haboshes. Come and pick up the mic, bro, man. Come and join
I'm
us.
assuming it's
tell us the difference. These 3 types of haboshes. What is it?
Tigray, Tigrinya, and Amharic.
Amhara, Tigray.
Yeah.
You know, the Tigray people are tough, man. I'm telling you, man. Because what's happening in Ethiopia right now, it's just amazing what they're doing, man. You know? How, you know, just one... They're even smaller than us, you know? What's the population of the Tigrays in
I think
Ethiopia?
4 million?
4 or 5 million.
Yeah.
They're taking on, like, the rest of, like, the Ethiopian government.
Don't forget the Oromo are helping them.
Oromo not helping. Oromo's, they're like, come on, man. they're not doing much on their own side, man. I think Tigrays, they're doing all the hard work.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. The only group that could cause us problems in the future is the Oromo. These people are huge in numbers. What is it? 3 times the population of Somali people?
I think Oromos are
same. Like we're almost the same. Somalida oo dhan 40 million waa. Oromadan waxaa mataqaanaa 40 million. So 45 maybe max. So
what's the population of Amhara people?
I think 20 million.
Huh?
What?
Like 20 million maybe?
Amhara, yeah, 20 million, yeah.
I don't know. Could be
I'm
less.
surprised, man. I thought Amhara gonna finish Tigray quickly, but it shows you how strong Tigray is. I thought Amhara gonna be stronger than this. You know.
So
he said that
why don't you
stole the Sheba kingdom from the Tigray?
Eritrean Tigray are the Ethiopians. So why is this why is he saying that the Amhara sold the Sheba kingdom from Tigray and Tigrinya? At the same time, they're not the same country, Tigrinya and Tigray. They should be
he's
one
talking about
country
the old
together.
days.
He's actually right, I think, because it was actually the Tigrays who kicked out the Italians out of Ethiopia. Did you guys know that?
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the Amharas, it was the Tigrays, man. I'm telling you, these people can fight, man. These Tigrays, man.
They have a long history, man.
They've got a long history of fighting,
almost
man.
the same as Egyptians.
I don't know. I think they're the real Ethiopians, the Tigrays, man.
Aksum people.
Yeah, they're the ones who they got some. They're tough.
What about us, Somaliland? What kingdom do we have? The oldest, long-lasting kingdom.
We had many kingdoms, man. We had kingdoms in the north and kingdoms in the south. I know in the south we had a
There's 2 different kingdoms. There's sultanate and there is a kingdom. A sultanate don't have military, they don't have financial, they don't have that kind of stuff. Sultanate is tribal people that come together. But kingdom is like, is a dynasty that has military and is conquering other tribes and other land. So which one was the last kingdom in Somalia? That lasted long.
A Joran kingdom. They were very powerful. They used
that empire is in the south, though.
They were the Joran Empire. It wasn't even a kingdom, but it was an empire.
Yeah, it was in the south. It wasn't in the north.
You know the Joran Empire. All these tribes down there trying to say they're big tribes. They used to get slapped around by the Jorans, man. You know
what?
These current big tribes in South Somalia.
Yeah.
Who think who now say that they're important. They used to get slapped around by the Joran kings.
Who's the Joran anyway?
Joran were rulers in the south, man.
They moved away from Somali, because all the Somali tribes here, Somali doodan qabiilada inay iskugu yimaadeen ay waxay ku goobteen.
Laakiin waa qabiilkee?
Ajuuraantay ku goobteen, waxa qaarna way xireen, wayna buriyeen, ajuuraanta way guureen, ormaday galeen hadda.
No, Ajuran kan la yiraahdo waa qabiilkee?
Well, just the Somali tribes in the south. They used to take taxes by force, So, yeah,
I was told it was Javier Daro clan. So,
how many clans are there in Somalia? A lot of clans, bro, man. Yo, Ethiopian brother, why don't you pick up the mic, man? We might even talk about what's happening in Ethiopia. You can educate us. We don't know what's happening. You know, you're the
instead of you seeing us as haters, we're not haters. We just want to be educated.
No, it's just me. It's not them. It's me.
Oh,
I have history with them.
you saying you ever like? I don't know. What do you mean when you say you got history with them? What do you mean?
After that can. Okay, my father is from Ethiopia. Okay. Hillary and the Galki, they wiped my father's side of the family completely, except his siblings. So that's why. Even my father even told me if I ever marry a Habesha, I'm disowning this. So I don't mess with them.
Yeah, man. That's a strict family right there.
What did they do, your family? They rebelled.
No. Okay. To the Watanki, my father was born in Ethiopia. Okay. A region like in the area of Deridaba.
Is he Somali or is he Ethiopian? Like
No.
other.
My
he
father
Somali?
was born in Ethiopia, but he's Isa Somali.
Okay, he's Somali then.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these people.
Somali.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Yeah.
So these people wiped my whole father's side, okay, except my my grandma's brothers who escaped to Djibouti. And there's some of like my uncle grew up with PTSD and all of that after seeing all the dead bodies and all of that. So my dad is like, nope, no Habesha.
Oh, that's deep.
So why would they do that? Why would they? Oh, it was when Somalia came into the Somali region of Ethiopia. Yeah. Oh, okay.
That was crazy, isn't it?
What's the ideal? What's the future like? 5
Somali states, and we can have a NATO-like alliance. No one government. I don't want that.
How about like the European Union way?
Yes, exactly. We can have our own like political system, make our own finance, whatever, independently, but join military. We can make the military like all one, like do the same operations and all of that. That I don't mind, but different governments, different financials, all that.
I like that.
How about one money, one flag, one passport?
Yeah, but the problem with that is like if it collapses, we all collapse. But if we have 5 governments and one collapses, at least the other 4 are there to help the other one.
Exactly. Thank you.
You know,
wallahi nidaamkaas niyahow ma xumo laakiin qof oo markino oo another state ka imaaday can he freely
free travel like the Shenzhen.
You know what? That's why I support Somaliland becoming a government, strong government.
Somaliland dadkay xaqusay.
But they're doing that for their security. They're doing it. Look, I'm telling you, if Somaliland gets full recognition, we're all going to benefit. All Somalis will benefit.
Because a lot of people start migrating from Somalia. If
then,
Somalia
then that means we got Djibouti, and now that means we got Somaliland. We got 2 Somali governments.
I'm telling you right now, Djibouti does not want Somaliland to be independent. Trust me.
But then later on, you guys are our brethren, and small countries are always vulnerable if they don't have strong military, financial, or anything. Are we just gonna watch you guys while you guys are saying, oh yeah, don't intervene in our government? So later on,
no, I said let's be a united like the what's it called, European Union with NATO. We have one military, but different countries, and we have different seats. We all have seats in the United Nations.
So there'll be a central parliament, one big parliament. because the European Union, they have their own parliament, which is in Brussels. And there's one
Sure,
leader,
that I don't mind.
chairman.
You know what? I have no objections with that. I
And
just
there's
don't.
one
Brothers,
institution.
did you see what Ethiopian guest wrote? He says, to be honest, I don't think no Habasha has problem with Ogaden being part of Somalia, except the politics. So that's a good thing. If our Ethiopian brothers, are starting to see, like, the idea that Ogaden or the Somali region.
You know what happened in 1977? waxaa la lahay markii ay Soomaalida ku duuleen Ethiopia markay ku duuleen oo ilaa iyo Addis Ababa ay gaareen waxaa lagu baxay motive waxaa lagu baxay lagu xureynayo Soomaalida oo Soomaali galbeed degan lagu xureynayo si ay ku mudoobaan and to bring back the greater Somalia. But you know what they did in return? Waxay dhaheen anaga idinka money join garaynayno, we're not gonna join you guys.
That was a smart move
own
on
government. We're gonna do our own. We're gonna have our own government, and that was a big disappointment for the rest of the Somali people.
No, that would be the smartest thing for them. I'll be honest, because if they united, then they would be in the same situation as Somaliland right now. They can't leave because the South doesn't allow them to leave, and the central government that was supposed to be for the people is gone. It's collapsed. So it's or has betrayed them. So yeah.
Why isn't there a central or a very a broad or even Hisbi party or like in every state kajiro? Like let's say there's a state, there's a Hisbi, there's a party that also exists in Somalia and Somaliland. They have the same ideology, they have the same motive, they have the same view. Puntland, Somali Galbeed, Djibouti, and Garissa, they all exist. That same party exists, but they has been not as hello way.
Because first of all, Djibouti, Adel Ismail does not want anyone other than him to rule the country. Second of all, Somaliland wants independence from Somalia, mainly for financial, not relying on Somalia. So that's also another thing. So I don't see why there would be a party like that in the other Somali states, but
yeah, but at least this Hizbi, this party could translate every region their motive. They can represent. They can say like, okay, you know what, the state does trust this Hizbi because they have a lot of followers, and you can represent our government. We will vote for you. And the same Hizbi goes to another state and he makes a lot of followers there. Every state, state by state.
Wait, so what do you mean by going to different states, state by state?
You see how the American election is?
Yeah, but that's a whole country. So
But that whole country has different, constitution. Each state has their own.
It has different specific laws. They still follow the same constitution. For example, it's a right to have a gun, but certain states restrict that right to limited exceptions.
لكن حزبك ويكمل سوما.
Yes, they all have one government. Yes.
Like Republican هدو Florida هدو and he has so many followers. They vote for him, and then he goes to Ohio, and then he goes to California, Texas, even though all of those states they differentiate in their constitutions, but then at the same time they have a similar party.
Yes,
something like that should exist in Somalia.
Up to you. Somali people are way too complicated for something like that. First of all,
we're too easy. Wallahi, we're the easiest people. I don't know why a government cannot, take care of 12 million people that live in Somalia. how corrupted are they?
Yeah, you're right. Because China, how much? Well, China's 1 billion people. India is also 1
But with
billion.
an iron fist,
That's a
those guys are
dictatorship.
ruling it. Yeah, they are like, they're too strict. They're taking over Hong Kong. Next is going to be Taiwan. Maybe sooner or later it might be even in Mongolia.
Would you guys love like a halal way of like China governance in Wadanka?
Well, so laga soo tagay China government. We had Chinese government once, which was the Siad Barre regime.
Why?
Siad Barre regime was
want something
almost
like that?
similar than the Chinese, government today. We don't want it, but at least, how it kept the people together.
Yeah, but Sierra failed because of corruption. The Chinese, they don't do corruption that much.
Everyone can be easily corrupted, man. Anyone can be easily.
That's what I'm saying.
As long as they have a greed,
the Chinese
desire.
System, they're not as corrupt. If they were corrupt, their system will fall apart.
No. Mao, the biggest murderer in history, is Chinese. The man starved, 50 million people to death? So, no.
Yeah.
But he wasn't corrupt.
He was corrupt. Man
he didn't steal money or anything like that. He had a vision and his vision flopped.
Bruh. Dude, the man... I don't understand. How is he not corrupt?
He wasn't. It's someone who's corrupt just steals the money and loots the country and just...
He was...
doesn't...
He was
he wasn't corrupt. Maybe his way was wrong, but he wasn't corrupt.
Yeah, his vision was a total failure, but he wasn't corrupt. But Xi Jinping, the other guy next to him, who took the mantle, he fixed that problem. He brought another political vision. He done a treaty with the US and he succeeded. The problem with Sierra is like he
didn't have anyone to trust to pass on the government to you.
And then people then said, "Oh, Sierra he's favoring his own tribe." That's when the whole system collapsed. If the people see you just favoring your own, clique, your own group, it's gonna collapse. If the Chinese did that, if they started favoring just one city or one community, it'll collapse.
I would say a corrupt government is the one that exists in Somalia right now.
What? People that work for their own pockets?
Do you know how much they spend on election compared to how much they spend on the
security?
Security tamahan. Waxa abaaraha ka jiro lacagaha ku baxayo inay ku badbaadiyaan Soomaalida iyo ummadda ay ku badbaadin lahayn lacagaha ku baxayo wax weyn ma aha haddii u badato maybe 500,000 waxa mataqaana ay Soomaaliya dhan u qaybinayaan bariis caag saliid biyo waxaasisiyaan laakiin electionka kursigiya waxa ka buuxaya 10,000 15,000 ku baxaya halkii kursi and there's about maybe who knows maybe 400 500 kursiya meesha ka jiro and the president itself he's paying maybe millions.
I think we're forced by the Western powers. They're forced us to have this corrupt system.
So
I don't think democracy works in Somalia, man. It's killing us, man. We need to have a whole Somali system. Huh?
It should start from the lowest. These
politicians, man, they're corrupt, man. These filthy politicians, man, who use
abaaraha ka jiro wallahi now the biggest problem is not election, it's abaaraha hadda soo wajahaya Somali iyo labada sano soo socoto and how scarce the water is going to be when imagine Ethiopia now waxay markino ay ku guumeysanayaan biyahooda Egypt ku guumeysanayaan. What if Shabelle iyo Juba markino saasna la yeelo? What if that happens while the last 5 years there's been a lot of floods in Somalia and now we cannot even keep the water that's being wasted.
Khalid, are they allowed to able to see the link I sent?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll send a link to the amount of donations Somalia receives and check it out.
The problem in Somalia is that we don't have good leadership.
I don't understand.
If you guys compare Somalia to Oman, Oman's poorer than Somalia in terms of resources.
That's true.
But they managed the little they have. we don't have someone. We don't have like a leadership to manage our resources and to share it with the people.
So how much is the budget? Ooh.
After you have a PDF, if you can find it, click it, and it shows the breakdowns.
Go down, scroll down. What's the amount they?
I can't see. Tell me when to.
What's the budget? So there's no budget.
There's no budget there. What do you want me to scroll down to?
To see the budget, how much they spend on Somalis and our.
It's
who's donating it? Ma wadanada kala sadaqada bixin way mise Soomaalida dawladda Soomaaliya wax bixinayso.
But this aid money doesn't.
I can't hear you guys, so I have to back out and join again.
Khalid, niho codsi ma Mitsubishi ha wax maaragtaa oo paid wax maarkino oo donation oo in Somali and awaaraha ku jiro.
Yeah, I did one last year.
Yeah, up to it was on download publication.
Wallah, if you do it, man, I'll spread the words and everything. Everyone can do that. TikTok, WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, kulli. And with the guys, at least there's about maybe let's say 2 million people outside the house Somali, or everyone can at least pay $50. I mean, even $20 behin karo. And that's enough money, wallahi billah, for like let's say maybe 10,000, 20,000 people in Awarahan like Muti.
Why is the government not doing that?
They're corrupt, man. They're still busy with who's going to be the president, who's going to be.
Up to 500 million it's too much for them. What do you mean corrupt? These people.
No, you guys don't understand. Can I just point out something?
Go ahead.
Let's say the Western government say, "Oh, we're going to give like 500 million to Somalia." Do you actually think that 500 million is going to go to the Somali people?
I don't think so.
No, but at least 10%.
98% of it is going to go to these NGOs, man.
Wait, explain to me
what's go NGOs? Right back to them for their salaries, expenses, and all that stuff. And 2% would actually go to someone in Somalia.
What's NGO?
So organizations that operate in Somalia that pretend to help the people, but they don't do anything. You know what I mean?
waxay gadanayaan finaanada ku qoran NGO-ga logogiisa, koofiyadaheeda, microphone ay soo qaadanayaan. waxay tagaan baqaar oo markino store waxay aadayaan markino bariis waxay gadanayaan maybe like let's say 1 ton oo bariis ay gadanayaan, saliid saasoo kale, bur, sokor, markaasi waxay u qaybinayaan taqana 100 family. Waana lacag waxa loo soo diray 1 million ku dhawaad.
They do so much damage to us. You see them doing adverts saying, "Oh, there's a starving child in Somalia.
Seriously, they do that?
Please donate to Oxfam."
Yeah, man, I've seen it a lot.
So is someone like is a tourist person going to go to Somalia and spend money there? They're going to say this place is Gajo. Is someone going to invest in Somalia? They're going to say this place is Gajo because of these NGOs who use our name to raise to raise capital for their own expenses. So they destroy us in 2 ways, man. Because like this also happens to Haiti, man. Haiti is also a big victim.
Okay, but Haiti is Haiti. Come on, they don't have the potential we do.
They do, because like Haiti's in the Caribbean, man. They were like the first black people to break away
independent
from slavery, to get independence.
They had their own
independence
in the
16th century. They had they fought the French.
But they had to pay them back later.
But still, man, imagine doing that in the 16th century, man. It's not easy.
No, it took them centuries. Trust me.
I know, Cole, we were colonized in the I think 18th century or 19th century. Yeah, late 19th century.
80 years anaga colonization ku jirna 80 years. That's 2 generations.
And Haiti got independence in the 16th century, and we were colonized in the 19th century. But look at Haiti now. They're being exploited by NGOs, man. So the whole world is saying, we gave this country billions. Why are they still begging? Because the money never went to Haiti. The money went to these NGOs, man.
Wait, so who's funding? I'm assuming the international community are funding the NGOs.
Yeah.
Or is it the government?
Yeah, it's a trap. It's a trap. It's a toxic trap. Right now, they're trying to do that to Afghanistan. In Afghanistan, they're saying, "Oh, all the money we had for Afghanistan, we're not going to give it to the Afghani government. We're going to give it to NGOs." And once it goes to NGOs, do you think the money is going to reach the Afghani people?
Wait, so NGOs are independent from the government? Is that what you're saying?
NGOs are basically, basically these organizations who like just, I'll call them vampires.
But are they the part of the government?
They'll suck you dry, and then everyone's going to think that you took the money, but you never saw the money. It's these NGOs who spent all the money, and they're going to say, why is Khalid poor? Why is Zero poor? Why is Hirsi poor? Why is KS poor? We just gave him like $100, but that money never went to me.
Wait, so are they part of the government?
No, they're not. They're just Western
organization. It's like, us 5 years. Hadda inta ka hadlayo oo isku imaanay advert waxaan suubinaynaa we start an advertiser oo waxaan suubinaynaa lacag inaan ku aruurino aan dhahno meeshaan awaara ka jirto Soomaaliya lacag waxaa loo baahan yahay intaasoo thousand and then we bring all that money together, we take it, and then when we go to Somalia, we took money like, let's say maybe 500,000 or 100,000 but we only spend 10,000, and the rest we take it, we divide it for ourselves.
Exactly. So people actually think like colonization in Africa has ended. It hasn't. What happened? What's happening now is that it's morphed into this, where what they do is they use these NGOs to come in and basically try to take over the government's role, what the government's actually supposed to do. And then they get all the money that the government's supposed to get, but they don't provide nothing to the local people.
Okay, so why doesn't the government just ban them?
Because you can't disband these people. They're very powerful. I remember when the Somali government, when they were, when they were in a transitional stage and they were trying to become a full government, and these NGOs were 100% against it. They were saying, nah, Somalia's not ready, because they wanted to still manage that money, and they still do manage that money. But now we have China who's trying to bring a different perspective to Africa. What China is doing is different to what these Western countries have been doing to Africa, because China has its own. How can I say? They have their own.
They're the exact same thing.
Huh?
They're the exact same thing.
But they're doing the exact same thing. But when China leaves, at least they leave some infrastructure in place.
But they own you for it.
They put you in but you have to be careful with China. That's what's happening to Kenya right now, isn't it? Kenya can't afford to pay some of its debts to China.
Yo, have you seen the? I believe it was the Uganda airport already. They changed the name already.
With the port of Sri Lanka.
Yeah.
What about the Mombasa Kenyan port? It's owned now by the Chinese. If they don't pay back, it will be taken by the Chinese because China, they send train or listen from Nairobi to Mombasa, which they spent about $10 billion, and it's like 600 kilometers. $10 billion. Imagine, that's a lot of money. And Kenyans, they cannot pay that back. So Halisi time 10 years to pay back every year 1 billion. If they don't pay it back, that port is taken for good, and for the next 99 years will be owned by the Chinese.
So I have a question. Instead of
it happened to Sri Lanka. It happened to Sri Lanka. It's about to happen in Djibouti. Probably Djibouti is fighting back now. Berbera
No, Berbera is
Berbera is Dubai why
yeah.
and they want to go to Yemen. I think they also done the same thing to Pakistan, but Pakistan is they can do themselves.
So
They slowly go into every country. Zimbabwe, Malawi, wadamadaas oo dhan markino oo xeebta markino Africa ku heeraarsan kuna aadisan China ay rabaan inay yeeshaan.
So instead of relying on the West and China, why don't we go to countries like India, Malaysia, Indonesia?
Iyaga naftirkooda waxaa waaye waa dadkooda ku badan mana kaafin karaan 40 milyan may kaafinaan iyagaaba waxaa balaayiin ah.
No, I'll be honest, I'd rather be allies with Indonesia and India than I do with China and the United States.
I'd rather be allies with Hawi and Darod and Somaliland and Djibouti than other people.
Somali kada waxba iskuma qabanaysaa wax kale ii sheeg.
waa isku imaanaynaa maxaa yeelay dhaqan waxaan leenahay horta ma maqli jirtay Soomaali dhaqan waxay leedahay geel raacato waay badankooda boqolkiiba 60 ugu yaraan marka maxay suubiyaan dhul dooga imaanayaan oo roobku ku fiican yahay laakiin biyaha ka soo daaho maxay suubiyaan qabiiladii isku imaanayaan reerihii isku imaanayaan kala qabiil waay laakiin reerihii isku imaanayaan go'aan waxay gaaraan inay ceel qoqotaan ceelkay qodayaan marka ceelkaas marka waa la waraabaa geeloodii xoolahoodii wada siisanayaan. I don't know why we can't do that. That's a Somali culture. How can we not do that then? How can we not build one port in that ideology?
It's very simple. We have different politics.
How politics keena is so maaragtay ma ahan complicated ma ahan so waa wadaqonnimo wallahi wadaqonnimo waa ina hebel waa reer hebel ka ogolaan maayo inaad iga hormartid safkana kaaga horeeyo meesha taas oo waxa la isku dilaayo.
Yeah, exactly. Basically, even Al-Shabaab, if you look at Al-Shabaab, most of the members of Al-Shabaab are from small minority tribes.
Guys,
I'll
go. Like, 1 second, you guys. 1 second. 1 second.